방탄소년단이 콜라보레이션을 진행하게 되었습니다.
네, 방탄소년단 스타일의 이모치가 궁금하시다면요. 네.
우리가 디자인한 코스튬을 입고 싶으신가요?
그러면 프리파이어에 접속하세요.
많은 깜짝 선물이 기다리고 있으니
프리파이어와 방탄소년단의 콜라보레이션 기대해주세요. 네, 많은 관심과 사랑 부탁드립니다.
프리파이어!
프리파이어!
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the NA Pro Report. My name is Melocrit, here to bring your weekly coverage of the biggest players and the biggest plays in North American Free Fire. We are quickly approaching the end of our Season 2 group stage, and with Week 3 already behind us, we will soon find out which teams will continue their tournament run in either the last chance qualifier or the finals, and which teams will unfortunately be eliminated. So without further ado, let's roll into week number 3. Definitely keeping things exciting on day 7. We had 6 different winners for the 6 games that were played on that day. 6 different teams claiming booyahs, and 3 of those teams actually picking up their first booyahs of the season. Those being Hags, SKB, and surprisingly R15. So that must have felt really great. Congrats to those teams. But it was still B-Sides day, managing another triple-digit day with 103 points. Day 8 was definitely a very different story, as Virus Gaming had a massive pop-off, winning 3 back-to-back two-bag games, 2 on Kalahari and 1 on Purgatory. And along the way, they also managed the single highest game day score of 116. 116, y'all. That is crazy impressive. Let's see how exactly they polished off these wins.
The kills are going to connect. They're going to get away with it. They shot down a couple of the members and the entirety of Big Drift.
Oh man, Virus, they just got to feast off of everything that was underneath them, and now they spotted out Poppy Camus. It's just going to be a matter of time before Camus goes down as well. Only question is, will they get credit for that kill? Nope, he's going to go down to the zone, and Virus Gaming will get the booyah. Actually collecting, oh, nice grenade from Grozero. I mean, I feel like I've said that about 15 times today, though, as Grozero has been hitting these nades on point all day. Joan will go down, and it is back-to-back victories, trying to see if they can maybe get within grenade range, and it looks like he will do so, but the grenades coming out from Virus will be nicely counted right into Camatron's lap, as Shakal will actually get the knock with the sniper rifle, and now we're down to a 2v2. Shotguns, time turners, and glue walls. That's all that's left. Shakal will try to see if he can take this one away, and he does. Actually, Victor will be the one that does it. So Virus, 3 booyahs in a row.
What a cleanup there from Virus Gaming. To wrap up week 3, we had day number 9 where USA Esports put up a 2 booyah performance, very respectable, but it was actually Fuego with their 2 booyahs bringing up the highest score of the day to 97 and bringing up their total booyah count to 9. 9 booyahs in the tournament so far, the highest of any team, almost in the double digits. Super impressive stuff from Fuego. With everything tallied up now from week number 3, let's check out our overall leaderboard. Keep in mind, groups B and D are down a full match day, so they will make that up on day 10, and we will be all evened out and squared away by day 12. Looking at the leaderboard, it's a lot of the same old story, unfortunately, for some of these squads. Beside Esports, our returning champions still in that top spot with 446 points, over half of that in kills. Fuego bringing up second place with 426, only 20 points behind Visage, so definitely giving them a run for that top spot. And Club 90 walking up in 3rd place, rounding out that top 3. So those squads are about as good as locked in for the grand finals, but still 3 full match days to be played, which reminds me, you do not want to miss the last week of group stage. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern, we will have our final set of games to determine which teams will move on to the rest of the stages of the tournament and which teams will be left behind. So you definitely don't want to miss the action. Join us on YouTube and Twitch live. Come talk some smack in the chat. Let us know who your favorite teams are. And looking at the leaderboard, let us know where your team is standing right now. Leave a comment and a like on your way down. But that's going to be it from me. Thank you so much for joining. My name has been Melocrit. Don't miss the last week of the group stage, and definitely don't miss the LCQ and the grand finals. I'll see you all there.
Hello, we are 프리파이어와 방탄소년단이 콜라보레이션을 진행하게 되었습니다.
네, 방탄소년단 스타일의 이모치가 궁금하시다면요. 네.
우리가 디자인한 코스튬을 입고 싶으신가요?
그러면 프리파이어에 접속하세요.
많은 깜짝 선물이 기다리고 있으니
프리파이어와 방탄소년단의 콜라보레이션 기대해주세요. 네, 많은 관심과 사랑 부탁드립니다.
프리파이어!
프리파이어!
Hi survivors, welcome to Season 2 of the Free Fire Pro Series. We're back to bring you more action, more talent, and even more booyahs for the best teams in North America. On top of a whopping $50,000 prize pool and the bragging rights of being crowned the FFPS Grand Champion, this season the winners will also earn the first ever North American invite to the Free Fire World Series. But before they get there, teams will have to fight their way through a grueling 2-month tournament, including an open qualifier, group stage, last chance qualifier, and grand finals. The action started earlier this month with the open qualifier, where 192 teams from all across North America joined the FFPS for the first stage of the tournament. Each qualifier round featured 6 games, where teams earned points based on their in-game performance, including their placement and their kills in the 12-team lobbies. Only teams in the top half of their lobby moved through each of the qualifying rounds, making their way through the round of 192, the round of 96, and the round of 48. The bottom 6 teams from the Season 1 Grand Finals joined the top 30 from the round of 48 and the last open qualifier round, the round of 36. The 18 teams left standing from the final round earned their spots in the group stage. For the group stage, the top teams from the open qualifier will be joined by even more invited teams from Season 1. The top 6 teams from the Season 1 Grand Finals will qualify straight into a 24-team group stage, alongside the open qualifier teams from Season 2. Teams will be split up into groups of 6, and these groups will face off in a double round-robin format where each group will battle each other in a 12-team lobby twice. This stage will take place across 4 weeks, with 3 game days per week. In the end, the top 8 teams will punch their tickets straight to the finals. The 9th through 20th place teams will earn one last shot in the last chance qualifier, and the bottom 4 teams will be eliminated from the tournament. The last chance qualifier will be a 2-day gauntlet where teams that fail to qualify from the group stage will get their last chance to earn a place in the finals and fight for the title of FFPS Grand Champion. 12 games will give the top 4 teams a shot in the finals, while the remaining teams will be eliminated. The Grand Finals will pit the top 12 teams in North America against each other in a 3-day event. 6 games per day for a total of 18 games will be played for teams to claim their piece of the $50,000 prize pool and for a grand champion to be crowned. Which squad will reign supreme and get their chance to represent North America in the World Series? Tune in to find out.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Free Fire Pro Series for North America. I'm Twiggy, I'm joined by Dan Dryad, and it's the last day of the group stage. It's the last day, it's the last chance for Groups A and D to get their points on the board, get themselves into either the Grand Finals runnings or the LCQ runnings, just get away from that elimination zone if possible. But it's all about today. This is the last chance for everybody to do everything. Well, the last chance until the last chance qualifiers, but anyway, it's only 4 teams that are going to be eliminated today. Everybody else scrambling for points in the places, and we got a lot of teams that are really trying to get over those boundaries. So, what games are you excited for today?
I mean, it's, you know, like you said, it's going to be the last day, so the last chance for those opportunities, the teams that are staying at the bottom to get some more points. But we're also going to have Pizarro playing today. So what are the expectations here? This is a team that they're not going to get loose. They're not going to make it easy for those teams at the bottom, even today, even on the last day. They have pretty much those first spots secure, another booyah, maybe two, whatever they are good at that we get to see week after week is something that we can expect again today. The performance that they've had has been absolutely insane. And I really like looking at DL, one of the best players that we got. The points by themselves, the kills that he's been able to get have been something of a conversation pretty much every single day. So what I'm saying is when we have those teams at the top and we have those teams at the bottom that need those points to secure a better performance, you're going to start questioning how easy is it going to be for the bottom four to move up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're talking about Bizarre Esports. They're pretty much through. We've done the math. A team would have to get 100 points. Each team below them would have to get about 100 points to drop them out of the top 8. So I think they're safe for the grand finals. At this point, it's really just about bragging rights. If they can overtake Fuego, that's a massive thing going in, because everybody else is like, oh god, it's Bizarre Esports. We're coming up against Bizarre Esports going into the grand finals. That's a scary thing to come up against. And obviously, they have so many top fraggers on their teams that can do a lot of work. But yeah, no. Teams we have to watch out for today. Team 999, Club 9D, they're trying to protect their space in the grand finals from teams like Osaka, USA Esports, trying to overtake Navy Esports, knock them out of there, try and knock out DN Esports as well. These are the teams that could get knocked out. Obviously they finished their point standings, but they can still be pushed down by the members of Group A and Group D. And all of our teams currently in the elimination zone are Groups A and D, so they're looking to just get as many as they can. It's a scramble to get out of that little bracket there.
It's honestly a mess, and I really like the point system, the way that it works as well, because you can secure being at the top from the beginning, from the first day, from the first week that we got to see for Free Fire. But now, even in the last week, it's also giving teams a chance to move up and to make sure that they can qualify for the last chance qualifier. So it's nice to see the system that it works, but it's also really rewarding that consistency. So that is why we see Fuego, why we see Pizarro, why we see Atomic all the way at the top, because these are the teams that have been the most consistent. Last week I got the chance to see Big Drip, for example, that we get the chance to see today. And this is a team that was able to have a pretty good performance, and I believe it was Bermuda had a really nice performance with kills, quite a lot of points that they got from that. But it's the question is, can they keep up? Can they be consistent today, the day that truly matters the most to them?
Yeah, I mean, you can see the stats here, an average kills of 1.9 across the whole team. It's not insanely impressive compared to a lot of the teams that we've seen, especially in their own group. Obviously, they're in Group A with Pizarro Esports, with Club 9D, two of the teams currently in the top 8. And yeah, no, their first 4 days weren't that amazing, struggling to get over 25 points on most of those days. They did have, yeah, as you said, a pretty big day last time. But they really do need to keep that up, because everybody else in that bottom bracket, they're really going to be trying to keep them away from that one, especially, SKB, who's going to be trying to keep hold of their place in the LCQs. You got Rambox Gaming up there as well, who really just want to try and keep down these teams and protect their place. So it's going to be a real kind of battle to see. Maybe some interesting strategies might be employed, trying to target specific teams to make sure you're not going to get overtaken.
Also, the teams in the middle, right? Some teams really wanting to qualify for those grand finals right away, having to avoid the last chance qualifier, because you don't want more attention. You want to have the confidence as well of making it as easy as possible, maybe trying to gather some information from the teams that are going to be playing on the last chance qualifier. And it's also a lot of stakes for them too. The ones that, again, that are going to be the most confident today are going to be Pizarro, because we look at them and no one can really match that score right now. It's going to be over 100 points. It's going to be very difficult to make it happen. So it's really making sure that those mid-table teams for today are going to be able to perform the best way possible, and that consistency that we have to see map after map all the way until the end. And of course, it's very, very hard to get those booyahs, maybe 2, 3 in a row. We don't see it happening very often, but absolutely a necessity for those mid-table teams and the ones that we already talked about that are at the bottom and are just trying not to be in that bottom four.
Yeah, exactly. And you talk about that. When we look at a team like Team USA, who generally have been performing pretty well over the course of this whole group stage, they do get days above 70 points, 80 points, 90 points. But it seems like whenever they come up against Pizarro Esports, which they have once already, they drop below 20 points. The last time they played against Pizarro Esports, they got 20 points in a day. So this could be really, really important for them to just try and scramble through any points they can get. Well, we're going to be heading into our first game in Bermuda, as shown by the yellow screen. We're going to see exactly how these teams are going to play against each other. That's the most important thing, is just trying to counter-strategize against each other now.
Absolutely. And this is something that it's definitely a possibility in the early round. So I feel like there's been a conversation into when you want to aim to take those fights. A lot of teams being more hesitant to take the early fights, but there are early fights that can benefit you. They can allow you to get even more kills, more points, more than anything that we already talked about is what teams are going to be aiming for today. So those early fights are going to be nice, but also require that bit of scouting of where the best drop spots are going to be, as we see teams only realizing and deciding where that is going to go for them. Just trying to stay alive for as long as possible, trying to get kills. And the system that we have right now is just enabling the early action to take place. And I feel like a lot of them are going to be pretty close to each other.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see Zundel Esports there dropping towards the middle of the map. They, the last day, they were, well, in competition. Technically, they weren't in competition. They didn't get any points. They weren't participating in the event. So it's a difficult, they would have been above that bottom four if they had participated that day. It's really important that they do get their points. Today, they're not too far off of that boundary, only about, 14 points. But everybody else, you have to keep in mind, is going to be trying to overtake them in that one. And maybe that lack of practice after that last day is going to make it a little more difficult to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. And already trying to take some action here. The time turner, the first one, is going to be Big Drip with any sort of advantage trying to take early on. This is exactly what I wanted to see from a team like Big Drip, a team that has been staying at the bottom and already being able to get some points, being able to take some advantage, and just hitting a little bit more of the enemy, getting that information that is going to be needed, as all the kills are going to be everything for them today.
Yeah, IT Official, the team that loses a member there, they're right in the middle of the LCQ kind of bracket there. They're not too, they're not really going to get up. They're also not going to go down. So, today's, it's just about performing consistently for them. They don't need to worry about getting too many points. They don't need to worry about, if they do something bad, it doesn't matter too much. So, unless they have an absolutely standout day, they're pretty much out of contention for grand finals. But Big Drip, they definitely need those points. So it's going to be big for them to get one on the board. IT Official do res their member. Look at how many people are over towards Sentosa here.
And I really, really like this. I want to see what the first engagement is going to be looking like with the damage, and already spotting a couple of the members. I see Shadow going very low, taking some hits from IT, but managing to stay alive so far. Team USA, though, already going down. Not the best positioning to be in. Kind of surrounded in an area where it's everything about trying to escape, and Shadow being able to heal. All good for these three teams, but I'm sure the action is about to take place here.
Rambox Gaming taking shots now from Brothers YT. Brothers YT, another team, desperately needs points. They've had two, decent days, but apart from that, they have been hardly scoring points whatsoever. And Rambox Gaming, they have players all over the shop. Edwin coming in from the side here. Time Turner committed and nades traded either way. That's one knock there for Rambox Gaming from the hands of Mr. Edwin. He'll finish it off with another. And then they get involved from the other side. It's a brilliant pinch from Rambox Gaming as they just push all the way in. Brothers YT forced to fall back. OG Wipe Gang taking a bit of the brunt of the fire as well here. Might not manage to get that kill, but at least they've got a knock and given themselves some space and time to get away from this team. But Rambox Gaming, they're running over both teams right now.
Oh, yeah, really nice done here. And the positioning that is starting to do everything as damage is taking place. As we see for the side of YT and the side of USA, they took a lot of early damage. They lost a couple members. Now they have to get to those revive spots to be able to come back alive. And in a lot of scenarios, only having one member is going to be so difficult for them to keep alive. But it's got to be a now or never here first map Bermuda. As once again, information. And it seems like also, once again, being able to spot where the other squads are going to be located.
really taking control of this area right now. Just searching for the last members of OG Wipe Gang here. And they will, eventually. They run towards the same position. Throwables are going to be coming out here. See if they can get a couple more with that. It's well placed, does a lot of damage. No kill, though. Moves in with the glue walls, trying to make some position happen. Oh, it's a little late on the peak. Everybody stays up. He can get a nicer angle on this one as his team is going to try and join them in this fight. Mr. Edwin, he will finish off that kill, but Jay gets a trade. And they bring this one back. Oh, yes, they can.
Yes, you can. The last damage as well into the approach of the two going into the same area. Now trying to stay alive for what they got. A lot of damage that has been taken, less than half HP. They should be able to close this one out. A triple kill as well coming in at the end. And that is going to be, once again, RBG managing to stay on top, managing to have a pretty good performance into the first fight that we saw.
Very, very good. Rambox Gaming. They're looking to cement their spot in the LCQs. They do have to fend off against these teams, and having a hand in, you know, keeping OG Wipe Gang down there is definitely helpful for them. Although I'm not sure that really is something you think about when you're in the middle of a fight. Maybe it's just shoot, and then kind of whatever comes next comes next. It's nice that it was OG Wipe Gang, but probably not the biggest thing on their minds right now. IT official going for a little bit of a rotate hit. Quite far outside of the zone. They did need to res one of their members, obviously, earlier in the game. So now over towards the crypt by Clock Tower.
I like the positioning that Pizarro has here. They're going to catch IT the minute that they get closer, the minute that they try to get into that zone. And so far, I mean, they're still a little far from each other, but we see how close they're able to get. And this is not a deal that they want to take so early on.
Goalbreakers. Very slowly playing this one. Club 9D again. Another team that really, really needs points just to stay in that grand finals. They're safe from elimination for sure, but definitely don't want to have to play next week as well, when only 4 teams are going to be getting through that stage out of the 12. Yeah, it's a pretty steep margin of error that you have to win a lot of games against a lot of teams that will have, you know, really been trying to push into the grand finals here. They've really just not quite made out on it.
Yeah.
You know, getting into the top 4 there is very difficult. The stakes are much higher.
Now we get to see Pizarro, like I said, in a really good positioning to take this fight. Can get a little bit of a high ground too, as they try to take down what is IT and all the members remaining. It seems like they have the information. They're able to scout them so far. But also in a pretty good area to be sure to contest it a little bit later on.
Rotating around Numb Village here. Very slow. Pizarro Esports knows they're there. They're just playing it as slow as possible. There goes the throwable. Not going to do any damage. A little bit short on that one. IT official keep their rotation going round. They're going to try and find some hard cover before they engage in this fight. Pizarro Esports not too worried about that. They will just take some shots down. Bebeto is on the ground. Res up quickly by teammates. Now it's IT official with the cover. Pizarro Esports going to try and stage an attack on this one, but there's a knock with a throwable. Sanji nicely hooking that one. No chance of blocking it. Can they move in on this one now, or Pizarro Esports going to keep that up their run of form? They're going to stage an attack now. The finish is done. IT official will get 1 kill on the board. Time turner committed. Pizarro Esports can't quite make a headway into the building here as IT official. He's holding them back a little bit, but that's not nice positioning. Sanji taken down by Ideal. He'll get another one. Bebeto able to get the trade in the end. Another one onto Jam. It's 1 player alive for each team. Ideal gets 1 more finish. Bebeto just hiding behind the wall here from Teko. Teko trying to use that new gun in the game. New shotgun. Charge shotgun. Incredibly powerful. Cooks a nade. Not quite going to get anything. It's such a slow fight. Bebeto getting some more finishes. He's on absolutely no health whatsoever. Teko just sitting outside here. It is down to a straight 1v1. I think nobody has anybody they can revive at all anymore.
It's a tough one as well. The action that took place for Pizarro, they started in the right foot. They started with that grenade. And then they just completely lost it. The glue walls just didn't seem to be enough to protect them from the damage. And after that, it's just one member alive for each of the two squads, having to back up, and hoping for a revive. So far, I mean, we're pretty far into this first map. No team has fully been taken down. There's just a single player for the set of OG, Pisar, and IT that we also got to see. Everyone hoping for that revive and hoping to come back. It seems like for Pisar, they were just able to do that too.
Successful disengage. Lucky, I feel like, with such low health. Obviously, we get to see what health they're on. The players that are competing against them don't get to see that. Otherwise, I feel like he would have been pushed down pretty quickly there, Bebeto. But gets to wait. Gets his team revived, at least 2 members so far, but it's massive for them. Actually leaves their, not OG Bugman, sorry, they were fighting against IT. In a pretty awkward position now, with almost no kind of support around that area. Bizarre has taken the revive station that's closest to them, so now you have to rotate a long way round.
It's a long
risk
way.
Going into more teams, yeah. It's a lot of risk to take now. Somehow coming away worse for wear from that fight. Sundel Esports did also get into an engagement with Rambox. Again, Sundel Esports did disengage successfully. Get some reses off there as well.
And one thing about Pisar is that over and over again, the reason why they're so dominant, or part of it as well, is because they're able to get in really good positionings early on. But now, they're not able to do that. Just because of the revive, so that and they have to play around the teams that already are in that area. And the situation in that case, it gets a lot more difficult. Even after that revive, even if they're all alive here. And on the other side, though, IT was the first squad that fully got taken down. Last one couldn't really connect those revives, and the action already trying to take place into this one too.
And quickly, Big Trip under fire from Osaka now. We'll get one knock either way. It's a nicely put nade though. Darlin down on the ground. The players of Osaka all kind of stuck in one location. Big Trip all around the shop. They try and push in quick. Get another knock onto Ramos there. Nice for them. They'll get 2 finishes off of that. Nicely in the time turner. The 2 players of Osaka down on the ground now. They do need to get those back up. Luffy stuck behind a wall. We'll try and get that finish off. He's not actually going to get it in time. Big Trip come away as the losers of that fight by quite a margin. Osaka not getting a single player finish on their team. Big Trip is going to be quite unhappy about the fact that they didn't get a single point out of that fight.
Instead of Osaka, in the meantime, they should be able to heal here, come back alive into a very, very messy fight for them. And for Big Trip too, we saw them at the beginning, pretty good performance, really good positioning right when they drop. But now, also, the second ones that get taken down, no more opportunities for them into this first map, into the first chance for them to get as many points as possible. So a frustrating loss into this one, but they're going to have to adapt and see what they can do, as everyone is very, very close to each other. Pisar, they actually got a pretty good positioning at the end. They should be facing 9D as they get closer to them.
Seeing a big fight over towards Factory. Factory, always a bit of a hot spot, no matter where the zone lands, but this time the zone directly on top of Factory hit. Another team gets taken out. Rambox Gaming out of the contention once again. A lot of these bottom 4 teams still finding it hard to get points in these games, in the later stages of the games at the very least. Bizarre Esports, the fight with Club 9D. Club 9D need more points in this. Bizarre Esports seem to just be going ham on them, though. Teko overextends a little bit. We'll get taken out by a nade. 9D. Stabilizing well. Bring the fire back onto Bizarre Esports. Obadios down now as well. It's just a deal by himself. The kill leader for the team. Kill leader overall in the tournament. Can he stave off a 1v4? I feel like that's a tall order even for ADL here. Throws a nade down. No damage whatsoever. A well-placed time turner will stop that one. He'll get a headshot onto Shackle, though. They push in a little more fervent. White trying to get around the corner here. They're playing it so slowly. There's a lot of respect for this player here. Hiding behind a tree. Has to move himself as well.
No one even wanting to contest it. No skills come from ADL throughout this entire tournament. You don't want to risk getting down. Wave, but no protection as well, so has to take some damage into it as well. And yeah, does get taken down. There's nothing else that can be done for Pisar. They get taken down here.
Yep. Club 90 going to be very happy taking out the points leaders for the two lobbies that are in today, the two groups that are in this lobby at the very least. 999, another team trying to protect their position, their provisional 6th place in the tournament so far. Go for some early rotations, just sit it out. Edge of the zone, don't need to move too much further. Just go where you're desired, but the next zone is going to be on the opposite side of Factory to them. That's a lot of free space out between that. Zundel, it seems like, it's probably the team that wins out the most on that one. Jeremy from Osaka, a quick headshot will stop them from moving any further forward. Zundel that hold the optimal positioning here now.
Osaka, what they need to do is get the kills as soon as possible. They are the 9th spot for today. They need those points. They need to move up. They need to secure the highest points possible into an early round like this one. But on the other side, actually already taking place, White T being able to take down the enemy there. The damage, it seems like it's been done. It's a little too late for the ones remaining. And even Team USA, only one alive after here.
Yeah, lots of teams taking a lot of damage out here. It's just going all over the place. Club 9D become the new kill leaders, stealing that from Osaka very quickly, but they're eliminated in turn by Skullbreakers. Skullbreakers kind of coming out of nowhere, protecting 20th place. The closest to elimination out of the teams that are in the LCQ bracket right now. They're just holding their position. They're well outside of the zone as well. Osaka eliminated by Zundel Esports. USA Esports taken down by the play zone now. It's 3 teams left. In Team 999, Zundel Esports and Skullbreakers, who are all just trying to stay away from this zone, who are all a lot of health for them, a lot of health packs to keep them alive, but no hard cover to work with. They all just have to move in with the help of their glue walls, and they're running low on those.
This is a nightmare for the zone. It's low. There's 3 teamers remaining. The glue walls are the only... And the damage is already taking place. The grenades as well can connect very nicely for these 3 teams, positioning themselves so close to each other.
They move. Skullbreakers taking down most of Zundel here, but quickly in come Team 999 to get a couple kills and get a knock for themselves now. They'll finish out Skullbreakers, Zundel Esports as well. A quick push from them, and they get the booyah. Team 999, a team that needed those points, taking it incredibly well.
Really, really nicely done towards the end for Team 999. Being able to catch up, and we didn't really get to see them too much towards the beginning, towards the mid part of the map, but at the end, when it mattered the most, they were able to get that booyah. And like you said, yes, this is something that they really needed. They need those booyahs, they need those kills, because as of before this map, they were in the position number 6, right? So it's not great, it's not the worst. You can get overtaken at any point by Club 9, putting a pretty good performance, and this is a really nice way to secure it. It's again the consistency of those teams that are able to stay on the top, and the pressure to keep that consistency as we move into the next Bermuda.
Yeah, very good start to the day for Team 999. Who, I mean, really though, you know what? The first day they played, I think it was day 3, the first weekend. They had a kind of lackluster performance. They were down towards the bottom of the table, and I thought, you know, this is going to be one of those teams that is just kind of out to begin with, and, you know, one of the lower runners. We'll see them every now and then, maybe. But no, second day, they get 66 points. Third day, they're one of our top scorers, and now suddenly they're doing incredibly on the last day of competition, right up in the top 8. They're going to be making it probably into the grand finals if they keep up this tempo going forward in the tournament. So absolutely massive from them. Other to talk about, I mean, Zundel Esports doing incredibly well for themselves. Another team that really, really, really needed points towards the end there. Skullbreakers too. They're going to be very happy with that one. They're going to be protecting.
This is such a nice way to end the group stages as well. Everyone has stakes. Everyone has pressure to perform to the highest level, to get kills from beginning to end. And so at least Team 999 into what we got to see, they're able to secure those points. They're able to secure a little bit of safety, but it's still a long way to go. And again, we can see how teams can be really good at certain drop spots. For as it can be the case of Team 999, that can benefit the side of Bermuda the most. But as we jump into Kalahari, that is when the inconsistency might come in. And so I want to see the stakes because we continue and we see how serious every single team member has been taking it into this one. That is going to be 18 points going in for Team 999, and just little by little, that's what they have to secure.
Yeah, and I think you can see the way that's coming through, in that no team has really dominated the standings here. You got 3 teams on 12 points after that game, 15 for the top 6 all got double digits from that game. That's absolutely like an insane distribution of points across the board, and all of these teams really need these skull breakers protecting their 20th position. USA Esports trying their best to push into the top 8. Sundell Esports trying to get out the bottom 4. Osaka trying to push into the top 8. Club 9D protecting their top 8 position. You can see exactly what it means to everybody when they give such a performance. But the end of the game definitely won by Team 999 there. Really playing it slowly and calculated towards that last zone.
Yeah, like you said, there's stakes everywhere that you look at. Even the teams at the top, they also want to deny a little bit of that comfort zone for the teams at the bottom. You don't want to make it easy for them. You want to continue showing that dominance. And even for Pixar, I got the chance to see them last week a little bit as well. And they were trying new strategies. They were taken down first in a couple scenarios, but they were trying things that were new. And this is something that they have to bring, as grand finals, as Legends qualifier approaching. You need to change the strategies. You need to, and sometimes change the way that you're playing. And so Pizarro has a perfect opportunity to do this. Even, in the hands of a deal that we get to see third place in when it comes to kills, 3 kills. And it wasn't the craziest amount of kills that we've seen, but it's a really good balance for everyone from top to bottom here as we got to see that list.
Yeah, Pizarro Esports take their placement up into second place from third. You can see a little bit of change around the board as well. Team 999 moving up into 5th place, overtaking DN Esports, who locked in their points yesterday. Club 9D keep their position of 7th. Navy not being overtaken by Osaka just yet either, who just stay outside of that top 8, along with USA Esports. But you can see the movement down at the bottom. Sundell Esports, 9 points, but Skullbreakers defend their 20th position from them just about in this one. 9 points. The Sundell Esports, though, getting into 21st. Just one game. One game's points worth away out of getting of that one. So there's so much going on. We'll try and keep you updated in terms of how everybody's moving around the board as the day goes on, but there's a lot to cover.
Even as you jump into games, you don't know exactly how many points you're going to end up with. So again, you're just hoping to have the best performance possible into those head-to-heads, into those early fights, and just get and take it as slow, or even playing for that information for the high ground that we got a lot of teams to see last week, getting really nice high ground, getting a really good positioning as the zone was closing, to be able to ensure that the kills were going their way. Even if you have one player, usually just looking at the other side, making sure that they're not going to come from behind you, and make sure that you're able to perform the best possible into, it's also a momentum thing.
See over there with that head-to-head, you can see the two different play styles, as you said, playing slowly, playing quickly. Sundell Esports, who came second in that game, playing very quickly, less distance traveled, more damage. They encountered more teams, but, Team 999, who just kind of went with the zone, distance traveled a lot more, doing a lot less damage, as they just kind of took those last 2 fights as it was. And we're going to be moving into the second game here very soon, but we're going to see how many teams can pull away from each other, because it seemed like nothing really moved around too much, apart from moving away from, B and C, the groups that aren't playing today. Everybody's kind of staying the same right now. We need to see some teams pull away, try and get away from their contenders in today's competition.
And also imagine being the team B or the group B and C, not really having any say into what is going to take place and what is going to happen today. It's so stressful for those teams at the bottom, and for those teams who know that they might or might not qualify for the last chance qualifier. And so really hope to see them yesterday, as we got to see them all the weeks before, and really analyzing a little bit of that playstyle, those drop spots that we don't often see contested, but very early on into this one as well. Looking at the southeast area, and there's going to be quite a lot of pressure there.
Yeah, Club 9D always like to drop on top of Sentosa, but Rambox Gaming as well have shown that they also like this position. And you can see the leap of faith there in the top of your screen. That's lovely. Rambox Gaming trying to take the south area of Sentosa. Club 9D taking the middle area. They'll get a little bit more loot. At the same time, they do have to defend this position very quickly, and if Rambox Gaming do get access to that crypt, it could make things difficult for them. A lot of good loot there. No team... I mean, they've seen each other. Just very slowly playing it. Again, both these teams have stakes to play for. Neither of them really want to get involved too quickly and then lose out on points that they could get later on in the game.
Yeah, trying to get the best loot before engaging. Like you said, they were able to spot each other from very early on, but it's just more than anything wanting that property to take. Positioning themselves very close, and it seems like that time starts now.
Yeah, here we go. IT official. Looking to get some more points on the board after that disappointing first game, but Brothers YT, the team at the bottom of the leaderboard, seem to be making things difficult for them. They'll get 2 knocks, Beto getting 1 in return, but things are already a little bit awkward for IT official as Duck moves in. Will he get a second one hit? Oh, they jump out the window. Make things difficult. On the chase hit. Again, IT official might just lose out on points once again. They've only got 1 player on full HP. Everybody else is knocked now. But Beto finished off. IT official. Some difficulty for a team that has been performing, you know, quite well over the course of the tournament. Suddenly getting almost no points over the course of 2 games.
It's a rough one. I mean, it's not something that you want to happen early on. It's a team that has shown some really, really high-level performances, but also some very concerning inconsistency that can play into this map as well. They can play into them getting taken down so early on. And it is also one of those risks that you take those early fights when you drop, and you know that the enemy is also going to be dropping very, very close. And it's just sometimes really that communication as well that plays a part into it. So for IT official, yes, it's not going to be ideal. It's not over for them yet, but it's going to be Beto the last one alive here, trying to get that revive.
No, yeah. Team 999 were looking down upon him there. He was looking for a way to get that revive going, but Team 999 were guarding the position. And IT official eliminated first. 0 points for them in this game. While Rambox Gaming get involved on Club 9D are not going either way. Both revived. Oh, not quite yet, but both will be revived.
Yep.
Rambox Gaming looking to go for that little pinch maneuver. They do this a lot of the time, try and flank round teams, trying to compound the knocks they get early on in fights. But, you know, the risk that runs is you get knocked out when you're away from the rest of your team. Suddenly, you know, Club 9D can just push that position. It doesn't look like it's worked out for them too well, though, Club 9D, because Rambox Gaming's push, they've got themselves members. Do they disengage? Do they keep fighting this?
Oh, it seems like they're going to go for that engage as well, trying to wrap around into what it seems 9D and RBG. Able to get some couple kills last time, but this time around 9D being able to come back with a better answer. 2 down, still was something that can happen into this one. 9D once again losing their chances into it.
Shackle trying to stay around the edge of this one. Nicely turned. Rambox Gaming eliminated. Club 9D crippled a little bit over there. They will keep 3 members alive. Quite a good turnout, considering they lost the first member there. They'll get themselves 4 points on the board. They're going to be pretty happy about that one. It's rare in this current meta that you get a full elimination on a team so early on.
Yeah.
You know, with the opportunity to disengage.
It's so rare, but completely surrounded as well. It's just 9D taking the opportunity as well and getting away with those kills in a very, very nicely manner. And it's a stab that then makes IT saw RBG knocked down. No more chances for them. As we see, a little bit of pressure. This side of Osaka, I believe, is trying to take really nice high ground that they have going on.
Yeah, right on top of the bridge here. Kind of looks like a dam, but it's a bridge. It's just got a road on it. You can see the road lines just about.
Yep.
And the trucks. The trucks kind of help you, you know, figure that one out. But it's a nice position to have, actually. We've seen a couple games end towards this. Turns out the team's on top of this one. You know, if the zone cuts you off, it's quite difficult to drop off it. But at the same time, you know, having is always really good. That glue wall, it's only so high. You can shoot over it pretty easily if you've got enough height on the other team. But they are all alone over here, right in the middle of the new zone.
Yeah, pretty much right in the middle of nowhere for this area. And everyone else, different parts, having and being forced to move. As we get to see, I believe it's going to be Skullbreaker and Pisar. Yeah, getting very close as the zone gets smaller and smaller and having to face each other. They are tension. To see 90, the ones that were able to take down RBG first, and also the damage that can take place.
Absolutely. You would say won't be happy with the performance they had last game. Wasn't terrible. Wasn't absolutely what they needed either. They're trying to make something a little better happen this time. Big trip you can see over towards the south. Rambots Gaming towards the crypt on their southeast. See that just at the edge of the minimap. See Zundel at the top of this one here. Just watching out over this. The zone has landed pretty much directly on top of them, which I'll be pretty happy with.
Yeah.
But at the same time, being right in the middle of the zone means you miss out on a lot of those engagements that you might want to get points.
This is the chances here for Zundel right in the middle. Can be surrounded very quickly, but can also take some very nice positioning, some early rounds and early kills. They can benefit them quite a lot into it. So YT, in the meantime, you mentioned it before, didn't have the best performance. Trying to change things around into it, and they will be able to do just that. Grenade damage has been done. So it's, you know, the last team that we have right now, the 24th, not even the points that they got into the last map were enough.
Yeah. Indeed. Well, they got that member res back up. As you can see him dropping in there. I should go for an attack immediately on OG. OG Wipe Gang before the member has even been resed yet. Did it BM? I feel like. They got him though. Shackle. On a triple kill now. WD incredibly well started in this game. They got a little off to a slow start last game, but you know, obviously them really needing points to defend that position. Definitely picking up the pace. 6 kills on the board already. And they're into the top 10, so it's a guaranteed 7 points. As it is, definitely need to do a little more than that to stay up there on the board, though.
So far, really good performance, and things can get messy towards the end, but those points, those kills are doing quite a lot for them right now. Again, a team that has so much pressure to have a very consistent performance today. Able to deliver that as of this map. The last one started in the right foot, then they lost it, and Skullbreaker there. Seems like they have the right idea. They know exactly where Pisar is going to be located, and Pisar seems like has no idea.
Oh, they finally got it. Techo couldn't get outside of that wall. We got that kill in one shot. I'm not going to give you the points for that one because you didn't get it in one shot, but you do get a point on the board anyway for finish. So, congratulations. Skullbreaker's going for a long rotate all the way around the west side of it. Pisar will get away, although they have lost a member. They're going to try and go for a revive station, but it might be Zundel that are looking over that position. Zundel and Skullbreaker's obviously getting in the top 3 of last game, making things difficult for Pisar Esports. It's actually Team 999, who also got in the top 3, who are dropping directly on top of them. I think they're looking to res their final member here, and Pisar Esports might find things difficult if they get taken out here. The crossfire's all the way around the map.
There's a little way around, and there's 4 teams around the same area trying to go for those revives, trying to... Here are not many for every single one. Big Drip still fighting to stay alive into this one. Pisar as well, being able to spot them from the distance, as they're also able to spot a couple other members from far away. And that other team is going to be 999. 2 kills down for them. A couple trades as well, and Skullbreaker fighting to stay into this one too.
Yeah. Everybody really wants to fight for control of this west side of the map. It's the last revive station left on the map, so you really want control of this area. Zundel getting involved from the high ground on top of Team 999, who are now down to 1 player in tail. Pisar Esports trying to stay away from Skullbreakers. They've got all 4 members alive. They can just push them on this one. A little bit of hard cover is available for them in the fence. They'll get behind it in the end. It was very close, though. Skullbreakers sending them, well, I would say towards the hills, but they're sending them away from the hills. Skullbreakers has the high ground. Time turner committed from Delmadios, who doesn't want to get killed by that nade just yet. You see Big Drip is over towards their north here. They don't want to get involved. I feel like they just need to coast their way up into the point on this game. We've seen too much, proficiency. So maybe if they can just survive till the end of the games, they can guarantee themselves some points, some much-needed points, without getting too heavily involved.
It's a nice decision at the end. Sure, the numbers can do so much, but you also don't want to play too aggressive and have to suffer after it. So they're able to wait a couple seconds. They're able to still spot where Pizarro and the last members are going to be located as the damage as well takes place. I mean, look at this. There's so many teams into this west area to take advantage and to get the kills that they're looking for.
Yep. Here comes Team USA. Haven't got involved so far just yet. Skullbreakers also. They found Big Drip. Big Drip's strat is not quite working out. That's one finish onto Ramos. Brothers YT, uncharacteristically surviving quite late into the game. Also getting involved. There's still 10 teams left. We're going towards our 4th zone here. Things are getting real squeezed in, and that's forcing a lot of teams together. Skullbreakers and Big Drip collide. 9D getting involved on Zundel Esports as well. Big Drip trying to defend at their position. Glue walls go out everywhere. Trying to push through that. I mean, every member of Skullbreakers is still alive. Big Drip crippled from the fight. Turning around the corner, Polonki takes out Darlin. Darlin down. Big Drip will be finished. Luffy on the ground, taken out as well. It's now Pizarro Esports who are going to try and third-party this one, but Skullbreakers came away quite nicely from that fight.
They're early taken down by this out of Big Drip. No more chances for them into it. They were completely surrounded, wrapped around. No more chances. And it's going to be at the side, at the end of the day, Skullbreaker, pretty consistent team, trying to continue that performance and trying to continue getting those kills. The grenades we hear from the distance, that protection as well from the glue walls are able to keep them alive. The zone gets smaller and smaller for them.
Grenade launchers trying to get themselves a couple more kills. They have figured out where Pizarro Esports are. The element of surprise not going to quite work out for them. They're just trying to stay away from this one. Pizarro Esports just keep getting hit by nades. No knocks coming out from Skullbreakers, but at the very least, they're just kind of pushing them away from this one. Team USA over towards the north of them. Holding the whole north of the zone here. They do have a little bit of hard cover to work with. Saka will take down one of them. One knock as well on their side. With Team 999, of which... not Team 999, Team USA. Club 9D now. Also moving around, and they found out where Zundel are. They're going to try and push this one. Turning around the corner, they know where they are. The time turner is committed, and that stops the kill from coming through, but eventually it will go down onto the ground. Steve Gray onto Jeff. Finish comes through as well, and Zundel Esports not looking to be able to get into the top 3 of this next game if things keep going this way. But 9D, they're getting flanked by the remaining members of Zundel. Take one kill. Can they isolate this one player, get the kill onto them? Back down to 3 players. Last time it was Joan that was eliminated, but this time White. Skullbreakers taken out by Club 9D. Not by Club 9D, sorry. By the zone, actually. Zundel Esports still getting crippled by them, though.
9D with such a nice performance, and they continue to have 10 kills already coming in for them. And even if they lost a couple members early on, they only lost, as of right now, White. Potentially, they could still even fight with the 3 members that they have, as so much damage has already been taken for those teams that are at the bottom, who might be taken down into this one to start, and Zundel being one of those.
Holding the high ground now, Team USA got themselves in a nice position. They do need to move. Eventually, though, we can see where that 5th zone is coming in. Right over towards the west side, or the east side, sorry, of the zone currently, which means that hard cover that's already in there, that's not going to be there for much longer, really. Everybody's trying to push into the corner of this area. Pizarro Esports with a landmine will finish off Zundel Esports now. Joshua trying to finish off OG Wipe Gang, who have made themselves into a last part of the game contender here. Jay holding a position, and that was almost a very nice double peek from them. But it looks like Club 9D get eliminated by Pizarro Esports right at the same time as Wipe Gang taken out by Team USA. We're down to our last 3 teams in Osaka: Pizarro Esports and Team USA.
Teams remaining, hoping to get something done, positioning, and the chances to hide really no more. Such an open area once again to work with. Pistar managing to stay alive just with 2 members.
Oh my god, that's absolutely massive from Osaka. They wiped USA Esports in 2 seconds flat. And now they have all 4 members alive to push the members of Pizarro Esports all the way through. Round to the cover, they push through. They got 1 knock, gets 1 down as well. But they come around the corner, the player left down to take out. Gets away. The evasion, absolutely amazing through the house, but on very low health, it'll only take 1 shot to finish him. There it is, Pizarro Esports miss out on their second Booyah. It's Osaka who take it away.
In the last couple seconds too, Osaka was in trouble early on, but being able to answer those questions as we got to see the end of it. And Pistar, I mean, nonetheless, the performance that they got was pretty impressive. Only 2 members alive into the last scenario, trying to connect those kills, being able to connect a couple more for that team, and not doing too bad into that second Bermuda. So, nonetheless, pressure that Osaka had is something that should be a little bit better on as we get to see those points eventually.
Yeah, that's going to be very, very hard to see for, I think, Navy Esports, who were playing yesterday, and just about made it into that top 8. And now Osaka taking a Booyah, who are in 9th place currently,
yeah.
I think are going to be dethroning them from that one and taking their position. Still, stuff to worry about. They do have USA hot on their tails, obviously. USA came second in that game. Oh, not second, sorry, third. My mistake. But yeah, I mean, what a game once again. A lot of these teams, you can see the teams that really want to win here. You can see all these teams that are right on the borders. You can see how much they're playing for the end, and no matter what, not giving up on fights, trying to keep members alive, trying to get those reses off when possible, and just maximize their point gain.
Yeah, though the fight that we saw right at the end between Osaka and USA Esports, it really felt personal, right? They are so close to each other on those points. Before today, it was 9 and 10. And whoever is able to take down and shut down is also going to be a statement of, who will really, as there's so much tension between them. And honestly, a really, really nice map that we got to see some early action and also some really late action. That was just everyone so close together, such an open area to work with. And the timing into when the teams were wanting to get those engagements was just amazing.
Yeah. Club 9D, though, getting involved all across the game. They'll get a lot of points on the board for the amount of kills they had, even if they didn't get into that top 5 area at the end. You can see them getting involved in Delhi spots as well here. Getting a lot of kills through that. Yeah, it's right at the end here. These scrappy fights that really, really set the pace for the rest of the game. And there really wasn't much to work with around here. The zone kept pushing in on places that were awkward to fight. You could see everybody playing outside of the zone. And just trying to make headway into the new areas. You can see USA obviously winning this fight, but once again, it was so important that they did, because this is the only piece of hardcover usable.
It was literally the only one, the only sort of protection besides the dual walls the teams could get. Such a nice wraparound for Osaka to get that round and to get those kills was honestly would allow them to get the positioning, get the difference, and get those points. Yeah, we get to see 22 at the end, a little bit more than we got to see the max that we got to see into that first map was 18. So just slowly going up. And for Osaka, I mean, this is something that they're really going to enjoy.
Yeah, and although Club 9D didn't quite get in the game, with 10 kills, they will get 16 points for that game, our second highest points for this game. US Esports bringing up third place with 15. Pizarro Esports will take 13 away from this one, but Skullbreakers do well for themselves on 12, away from that bottom 4. Brothers White though. A team that isn't known for getting a lot of points is up to 8. Pretty good for them. With everybody in the 3-point they can get. And maybe we could see them push out of that bottom 4 today.
It's just also trying to get those double digits for when it's in any way possible. Also being able to stay alive, that is going to benefit them the most. They were able to stay alive for a little bit longer into that first map. Second seemed to be difficult, and then now we get to see the head-to-head Osaka and Club 9D, the two teams that we seem to be talking about the most towards the end. Club 9D was getting so many kills from the beginning to the mid to the mid stages, and at the end just getting shot down completely. Osaka just coming in with the kills more than anything towards the end, right? Shutting down what we saw Team 999, or yeah, the Team USA Esports, and getting some points. So yeah, now we get to see it.
Yeah, the movement about on the board, we can confirm now. Well, Osaka just onto the top 8 now. Navy Esports get knocked down, and they are actually out of Grand Finals contention now. Navy Esports cannot get back up into that one. USA Esports a little still off that bit. They need another 21 to get up into the top. And technically, if Osaka keep getting points, they still need to get 34 points to get up there. Well, Sundell Esports don't quite make it out, and Tankers live to see another Tankers who make their way into 19th place, trying to keep up those points, trying to overtake Duel Kings, trying to overtake Rambox, who are actually slipping down the leaderboard now, still on 17th. But if Skullbreakers keep up this run of form, if Sundell Esports start pushing, they could be seeing themselves slip down a little bit. We're seeing a little bit more movement, but Osaka, the only team to talk about so far who have moved into the Grand Finals position.
The only secure right now, and like I said before, it's teams that are on the top 4 that are the only ones that really have a secure spot into the Grand Finals. Everyone else very, very unsure, and especially the teams that can't play today, right? It's got to be a frustrating one to deal with, when you just have to watch and hope that teams are not going to get enough points. But it's just the nature of how the leaderboard, how those group stages are going to take place, leaving Team 999, leaving Club 90 into a better positioning for what is coming next. And we can only expect the same, if not a better level of performance into.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many more things that could be going on here. 3 points the gap from Sundell Esports to overtake Tankers, eliminate them from the competition, and almost secure their place into the last chance qualifiers. But all that and more to come up. We're going to head into a short break, but real quick, Joy, how do you feel about BTS?
I mean, I am really excited for the collab that we have going on here. So.
Right, well, yeah, we have got a collab between Free Fire and BTS coming up. Keep an eye on the socials so you can keep up to date on all that's going on. You got emotes coming up. You got different costumes that are going to be designed by the BTS members. Everything is available on Twitter. You can go follow the Free Fire account to see exactly what's going on there. Keep involved with the BTS updates. But for now, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. See you for more Free Fire action. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Free Fire Pro Series. Apologies about the little break, we just had to fly over to Kalahari and now we're here, so we're going to be playing a couple games on there. And a little break in between each map. It's lovely. It's a lovely way to do things. So a little update, OG Wipe Gang isn't going to make it in for this next game, which is a shame. They do really need a lot of points, but that is how it is. They're going to be joining us back after the next game, so it's just a little setback. I'm sure they can get involved with it anyway. We're going to be heading into Kalahari very shortly, but a lot of things to talk about. What did you think about Bermuda?
Yeah, I mean, Bermuda, it started a little bit slower on the first map. Second one felt a lot faster, a lot more action taking place. And I'm honestly such a fan of the early action that we can see in Free Fire and how much value you can get from it, right? You can rest your teammates, you can allow them to come back alive. So it's honestly a good investment. A good brand.
Yeah, much more open. A lot of cover to work with, a lot of high ground to work with, especially, you know, and big open areas. Not much water to work with, so, you know, a lot of long rotations are going to be happening where, you know, you don't have to worry about. You can just come out. Let's drop very interestingly around this map, so I'm going to be interested to see. The blue zone is over towards Mammoth, which is going to be, well, I mean, that's a lot of. I don't think many teams actually drop at Mammoth, so that should be interesting to see if anybody changes up their plans to go over there.
I've seen Pizarro do it a couple times, but it seems like you said, they've been trying different things. They've been maybe preparing for those grand finals, and see what they can do from it. But yeah, as of right now, seems like the blue zone that's going to be free. No one getting too close to it as of yet, and everyone starting to set themselves different positionings all across the map. It seems like there's also quite a lot of pressure in the south area.
Yeah, Refinery always an area that we're looking at quite closely. Maybe not at the start of the game, but always towards that mid game. It's always in the second zone, pretty much, and it's pretty much always in the last zone. So, you know, having control of that, very nice. Sundell will take control of it. Osaka dropping all across the board. A couple dropped on Refinery, but a couple dropped elsewhere. Maybe a lapse in communication, but either way. Looking for loot now. You can see them getting some. Yeah, teams all over the place. Pizarro Esports with an interesting, very far away drop over towards the top right of the map. Cancel Hall that, which is very different to what they usually do, rather than getting involved. Oh dear, the Scythe. The Scythe of Brian. I'll get first blood for Osaka. Keeping the momentum up from last game.
Yeah, that's a way to start it. Definitely not the most natural way, but a way that is going to try to benefit them a little bit more. Into this one has a right idea where everyone else is going to be located. The time turner has to be used. Yeah, it's going to be the dominance coming in. Good way to start off, and yeah, like you said, just continuing building that momentum on the side of Osaka, because they definitely needed. Nothing is secure. We're not even halfway through the map today, so any advantage as well as a high ground contest that starts to play.
Seems like Osaka have it out for IT Official. Be another one down for them, down to one player left. MVP over that, towards the edge. IT Official, the hopes of getting up into that top 8 slipping away from them game by game. Oh my god! That's some good sight to find out a Team USA player there. And a full finish as well. Came in so quickly, nobody could do anything about it whatsoever. Osaka on the board with 4 kills in the first 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, already. That just doesn't even seem real. They are absolutely getting advantage of that momentum that they got from early on and holding to it for as long as possible. It's honestly 4 kills right away. That is something that doesn't happen very often. But like I said, I'm such a fan of the early action, and they're already showing us just that.
Yeah, I mean, they are in that top 8. They did get into the top 8 after last game, but, you know, obviously they're not safe there just yet. There are teams that are looking to overtake them. So yeah, getting more points on the board, always going to be helpful, no matter what position you're in. Roundbox Gaming, firing down upon nothing? I'm fairly sure they're just shooting at glue walls right now, but I think that was where Skullbreakers were earlier on in the game. They're not there anymore. Roundbox Gaming, using a bit of ammo on nothing so far, but once again, you know, As the zone goes over towards the southeast, you can see Club 9D are going to be quite happy with that, holding the sub. Quite a nice elevated area. And the Team USA rotating towards there as well as Brothers YT.
90 as well on the south, and it seems like it should be a really nice contest coming in. We talked about Brothers YT. We talked about how they really need to step it up into the games to come, and it's got to be a fight. Has to go their way. Can't be third party as well. Team USA getting very, very close to 90.
Coming in from both angles. Could make things awkward. Although I don't think either team really wants to contest a team that's already on sub. That's a pretty difficult place to lay siege of. I'm not sure that's going to be the best plan for them. Club 9D are very happy with their position, though, because in a way, they're pretty happy with, you know, kind of no matter where this next zone is. They are firing on top of Brothers YT. They have found them out in the end. Drone takes a lot of damage, but lots of heals to work with. 5 medkits make that 4 now. And a big view of Brothers YT as they rotate around the map. There is no cover around the fringes of the map, and that is what they're using to try and rotate all the way around.
The high ground as well. It's so nice for teams, but more than anything, the information, the first engagement that can allow them to get into a better position and even push forward and try to get that engagement. But we see from the distance should be enough on that side of Saka. One of the members down.
Yeah, Saka gaining a taste of their own medicine from Zundel Esports now. Zundel Esports again, right on the fringe. Oh, that charged up shotgun is going to do so much damage. Maduro down, and Osaka almost eliminated. There it is. Zundel Esports take their first 3 kills. 3 kills they sorely need, and eliminate Osaka in the meantime. Osaka, I mean, yeah, they made it into the top 8. They probably don't need to be too worried about the fact that they lost so early here, but, you know, that's not going to be helpful for them.
Yeah, it's still not the consistency that we've been talking about, the consistency that you want to have. They started with the right foot, they started with the exactly what they needed to do, but they've been losing it into it quite early on. The first team that fully gets taken down, IT as well in trouble, only 1 member, but more than anything positioning here. Oh, and the rest as well that is able to connect, so IT should be coming back, all members potentially here.
Again, things slow down, as always, towards the second zone. As teams try and position themselves differently. There's a lot of space to work with still, so everybody's well split up. But at the same time, you know, you need to focus on where you're going, where you want to make those rotations happen. It's a thing people don't really think about a lot is, you know, you have to actually think about stuff towards the middle of the game here, other than taking fights. Zundel Esports extend their lead in the kill. In the kill standings, up onto 4 kills. One kill for each player. Everybody getting involved. Skullbreakers now contest their position on Refinery, which we can see is already paying dividends for them.
The Refinery as well, and look at that early decision here for the engagement in Skullbreaker. One of the teams as well at the bottom, not being as consistent, need to have good results, and they are looking for the enemy. They're looking to have this engagement too.
Skullbreakers getting fired down upon. They have managed to get themselves up onto Refinery, but still kind of working with a low ground compared to Zundel, who have had a lot of time to think out their positioning, a lot of time to get up on the higher grounds up here. They are going to be moving in. Zeus being watched over by his team. Slowly looking in, scouting out the area, making sure he knows exactly where those players are, who are all just kind of stuck in one place. Now you can see Zundel splitting up even more. They want this crossfire as soon as Skullbreakers leave this compound.
They're going to wait for the right time to do so, but Skullbreaker as well, making sure that they're protected, making sure that they're able to spot the enemy before they are spotted into the Refinery area. So are no damage taken for them, as another fight is completely different. It's being one and right in the middle.
Fine now, YT in the session as well. So everybody getting involved on the kill feed. Team 999 seem to be taking a brunt of the damage. Mr. T does get himself in a kill onto Shadow. But as YT reeling from the results of the last couple games, where again they haven't just quite got enough points to keep themselves out of this lower four. A nicely cooked nade will actually loop over 10. Not quite make a hit. It's across Skullbreak time, but is a lot on that one. Team 999. After getting that one kill, seems to have backed off a little bit. Brothers YT allowed to run away. Oh, not quite.
Oh, 999 as well, trying to shut down what is left of those Brothers YT. Only a couple members alive into it, and yeah, like you said, 2 fights pretty much happening at the same time. We mentioned this had a big drip into this one too. And it is just those 6 those bottom teams that need to stay alive for longer, need to put that pressure, but we're back into that skull breaker team. And we saw a couple of trades coming in early on.
Yeah, there is only 1 player left alive on the Skullbreakers side now. And make it very difficult for them. The glue wall labyrinth in the middle of this building, making it difficult for them to move in. Maybe a well-placed nade would go well here, but I don't think anybody has them. There we go, finally. The shots will finish one off. Lecturer, unfortunately, who was still alive for most of that fight, just got kind of camped by that last player of Skullbreakers. Skullbreakers now eliminated. They do get 1 point because, obviously, with only 11 teams in the lobby, they get themselves pretty much immediate entry into the top 10. With 1 kill on the board as well against the side of Club 90. Oh, sorry, not Club 90. We're looking at Club 90 now. Zundel Esports. We'll get 2 points for the game, but obviously Zundel Esports coming out a lot better, and I think that pretty much guarantees some entry into the top 20.
Indeed, now coming up with a completely different start of the map when it comes to Kalahari. Right before we got to see 4 kills pretty much right away. Now, no kills, playing pretty much rotating around the map, waiting for the closed area to come in so they can properly engage and feel a lot more secure. That loot as well is going to allow them to do just that. As instead of Big Drip, we get to see them a little bit. They've been able to stay alive, trying to guarantee and trying to get as far as possible. This is something that they need, and consistency is going to be everything. They start as well from the distance.
Yeah. You have a nice position towards the edge of command post, but they need to be very careful about this one. Obviously, Bizarre Esports are a very capable team in terms of team fights. Big Drip really need to be careful with how they gain their points. Don't want to take too much of a risk at this point. Still got a 30-point gap to make up to guarantee themselves safety. Dommy!
Oh.
Ideal long shot with the sawn-off shotgun there. Try and push in a little further. Bizarre Esports, they've gained themselves a little bit of position here by getting that knock. They can push in all the way to this house. They'll finish off that kill with a nade. Ramos, on the other side, it looks like Team 999 getting involved. Mr. T takes one down. Adil will finish off that kill. Oh, now, Big Trip, unfortunately, being pinched by 2 different teams, seem to be in a pretty difficult position.
The positioning towards the beginning for Big Drip seemed to be nice, but like I said, now completely surrounded, Pistard would be taking them down one by one, destroying their chances into this one too. And they made it a little bit farther than before, but still not ideal. It's still not what Big Drip is aiming for. Pistard just, every time you see them, they're going to get kills, they're going to connect these grenades, and they're going to be very, very destructive for the teams around. So a little bit more of that area to breathe as a couple of those members for Big Drip get taken down. But coming and potentially also surrounding Pistard is going to be Team USA.
Team USA have taken a lot of casualties throughout this game, but they're back up as a fort. IT officials still taking shots. They've managed to get themselves later into the game. They went down to 1 member left, as you'll remember earlier on, right at the start of the game. Still alive, but not for much longer, it doesn't look like, as Zundel fire up upon them once again. It's only Beto left, the player who was revived earlier on, or one of the players who was revived earlier on. 3 of them were. He's right next to Josh from Team USA. That can make things difficult, but everybody moves in towards command post, and it's becoming a bit of a battlefield over here. Tail charges up his shotgun. He'll find a lot of damage, but no kills whatsoever. 84 HP. He's going to have to move away from that one a little further as Rambox Gaming try and take control of his position. Can't move too far back, though. He's now just kind of stuck in the shipping container. Good rotation there. He will get out of that. Big Trip finally eliminated by Bizarre Esports. And I mean, the amount of teams in this last area. 7 teams left in this last zone on top of command post.
Yeah, there's so many. It's usually 4, 3 maybe, but 7 teams and all the pressure, all the glue walls now they start to take place. Trying to get close to the enemy is just a nightmare to deal with. The time turner coming in at the end. The kill still not able to connect enough.
Move in once again. Kills traded either direction. Tail, last member standing. For this team, he will get another knock. Turns around the corner, trying to find another one. Not going to get the finish, but can he get the res up? Yes, he can. Back to 2 members, I think, versus 2 still standing. No, 1 still standing for Rambox. Oh, but he gets off of the res very quickly. Oh, what a shot with the charged shotgun. Tail. Take them out. Rambox Gaming. No more there. We're down to 5 teams now.
Taken down so quickly into it, but it's such a close area. And that was kind of the opposite that we got to see in Bermuda, right? Such a close area, a lot of glue walls, becomes a labyrinth, becomes a very, very difficult area to conquer as well and to take dominance off. So this is a really nice advantage. I see on the other side a really nice high ground that is trying to be taken. Seems a really nice one, but having to move out of place. Kisara should be able to get into that close area a lot faster into that zone. And that can allow them to get even more kills.
Yeah. They do have a nice position over towards command post there, but you have to be careful about how they rotate. I'm not sure if they know that Zundel are looking up at them from all the way on the high ground, up on the air control tower up there. I think they are looking up there quite a lot. They are aware of that position, at the very least, so they're worried about it, which is a good thing. Good thing to be worried about. Other teams, Team 999, known for being able to res their teams late game, do get every member back up after that fight with Rambox Gaming. Now they need to contest Club 9D, who are trying to get in on this next zone and really haven't got involved in this game so far. They do have a lot of resources to work with at the very least, but, you know, no momentum to work with. US Esports are going to be eliminated by them, though. That'll put 1 on the board.
Team 90 in the meantime managing to stay alive, trying to take different positionings as well. We usually have one of them looking at the other side, making sure that there's not going to be any flank taking place, because they want to be the ones flanking here.
They'll come up right behind Team 999, who, I mean, reeling from their reses there. Just got every member back on the board. Club 9D taking a lot of position very aggressively. Zundel Esports eliminated by Team 9999, but they push in all the way. 2 members of Club 9D knocked already. 3 members make that. It's only white left, and 3 members of Team 999 is still standing. The knock comes through, but Club 9D get eliminated before they can really get involved in the fight. Team Pizarre getting involved already. They third party that one. I'm just going to see a freeze frame here. Oh, what's going to happen? Not much. Not much at all. Team 999 holding on to where they are. Low on health, but not low on resources. Not low on kills whatsoever. They're going to try and push away. Get towards Pizarre Esports. Bring the fight to them at the very least. Glue walls go out as they try and push round. Mr. T eliminated there. Raster and Tail, though, blow back onto these 2. It's Jam who's trying to get a little more. He'll get another quill. It's only 1 left in Tail. Or going all the way back round. Look, 3v1 now.
How many kills has Jam gotten too? It's been an absolute insane performance from this player. Last one alive here. Honestly, a dream trying to keep the team alive, trying to give that victory to Team 999, but it's not going to be possible. And Pizarre, they are back in the game. That is going to be the booyah going their way.
Yeah, absolutely. Pizarre keeping up their stealing point teams, and they don't need the weather. They're safe pretty much no matter what happens in the grand finals, but getting themselves another booyah at first, the end of the group, obviously. They're well on their way to that one. They need a few more to make it happen, but that's going to go most of the way to getting it done. Team 999, though, another team that really did need points, getting on the board in second place as well. Lots of points for them to speak about, but everybody else kind of missing out.
It's something that we mentioned early on, right? Pizarre, they have the advantage. They know that they are all the way at the top. They don't really need all those points, but doesn't mean that they're going to make it easy for the enemy. Not really. They're going to keep playing and trying to get those booyahs, trying to get as many kills as possible. And like he said, Jam was able to get so many kills for the team into it. I know they have some rotations into what teams are going, or what players are going to play specific maps or play in specific days. But Jam being brought in into this Kalahari was absolutely the right decision. Was doing so nicely. I want to see again the kills that he was able to get at the end and the support that the entirety of Pizarro was able to give their own players to support each other and to make it all the way until the end.
Yeah, doing really well for themselves there. That's going to put a nice chunk in that distance between them and Fuego at the top of the board. But other news to talk about, and we'll see after these highlights come through. But other teams are going to be moving around on the board. Definitely Team USA got involved towards the unfortunate points they've got. Just got eliminated too quickly. Osaka again. I mean, they got eliminated right at the beginning team to go down. But you know, with Team USA knocking right on the door, it's going to be more difficult than they had imagined.
It's been a difficult one for all those teams at the bottom. It's been not as easy as they wanted to, and that is why when you have so much pressure, when you need to pass, when you want to avoid being on that bottom 4, things can become too difficult because some of them you can control, which is the kills, which is the positioning that you take. But sometimes you get third party, sometimes you get flanked, you get surrounded. And for Team Big Drip as well, or for 19, the chances as well, they seem to be fading away out of nowhere.
Yeah, a lot of these scrappy fights that are going on are really for a lot. Like, the thing is, your judgment can be very much clouded when you know you need to get points on the board. Do I go for this finish now and guarantee a point? Or do I start, you know, pushing around, healing, going for more kills, getting reses? When that, you know, kind of puts a damper on things. You can see Rambox really trying to think about what they're going to do here. Obviously, they are only about 20 points away from that elimination zone. And it didn't quite work out for them. And you know, maybe nerves do enter into that decision-making.
Difficult decisions and the risks of knowing or might guarantee you some kills, might guarantee you some points. But you can also get taken down very early on, which is what everyone is here trying to avoid. So the decision-making, the communication has to play a massive role into teams to make sure that if they're going to engage early on, they should be able to guarantee whatever is going to be needed. And then there it is. It's going to be Pizarro. 23 points that they're able to get into this one. 11 kills as well. Not the most that we got in the entire lobby, but really nice showcase of what they're able to do and the positions that they were taking across the map.
Yeah, and Team 999 make up a big difference as well with 21 points on the board. That's going to be really nice for them just to keep their spot. They're currently 5th and, you know, they don't really need a lot of points to stay up in that top 8, but it's going to be really nice for them being able to get 2 really good games on the board today. Now, Tail takes away 6 kills from that game. That's definitely what I consider a brilliant performance. Jam and Teko getting on the board with 5 and 3 each for Pizarro with 5. Everybody for today so far. Team 999 move up into first place after that game. Pizarro Esports push into the top 3. Zundel stay up in the top there as well. Tasaka that drop down for today's standings into 4th place. You can see really Big Drip, IT Official, OG Wipe Gang, Brothers YT, teams that are already near the bottom that really need these points, staying near the bottom.
It's also a very big difference right at the middle. Having 26, 36 really making a difference for how much and how easy it is going to be to catch up to those at the top. And that is where the difficulty is going to start for. Now, as we approach the second Kalahari, it's going to be more than halfway through for today, more than halfway through for the chances and the points and math that you're able to do to have and to continue having an opportunity into this one. So we continue to look at more than anything the teams at the bottom. We look at Big Drip, we look at Brothers YT, and the chances that they still have, even Schoolbreaker, even getting some kills, they've been getting some advantage, but still not really enough. Not a safe area that you want to be in.
Yeah, well, we can see the big stories for after game 69 here. Pizarro Esports closed the gap to first place to just under 40 points. And we can see that USA Esports have overtaken Navy and they're going to be heading into 9th place, just behind Osaka, pushing Navy down into 10th. But more than that, Tankers officially eliminated from the tournament. The first team to be fully eliminated, no matter what happens, down into the bottom 4 after their last day of performance. Fuel Kings right on the edge of it as well. Skullbreakers looking to push them down into 20th. But right now, that's the biggest thing. Obviously, Zundel going from 21st all the way up to 18th in one game have pushed Tankers out of the competition. They will not be returning for the last chance qualifiers or the grand finals.
An unfortunate situation, but there it is. How much it really pays off to get those consistent kills to make it to the end as much as you can, and it is why it's allowing those top 8 teams to have a little bit more of that safe spot. It's still the tension that I want to see how it ends up looking between Team 999, Club 9D as well, that have been so close to each other in so many so many scenarios when it comes to kills. And on the other side, Osaka and USA Esports, so much tension that they have going on. There's 2 pairs of teams that I want to keep an eye on for what comes next in Kalahari. Also looking at the performance that they just got.
Yeah, really, USA Esports having pushed up one more position. They're right on the edge of there. Osaka defending them from there. Club 9D also trying to defend that position too. They're probably very interested in keeping them down in the LCQs. But we're going to be moving into our second game of Kalahari. Let's see if anybody's learnt from their experiences in that first game. You'll hope Osaka have learnt from that first game. They got 4 kills on the board, but they got eliminated very, very quickly. So they're going to want a better one out of that. But yeah, again, also OG, Big Trip, Brothers YT, you really need to start picking it up right now. 3 games left to go, and then it's all over.
3 games left to go for today and for those group stages. The chances to qualify for the last chance qualifier are at stake, and teams, they really need to give their best. Even for the teams at the top in the 8th, 9th, 10th place, it's not the worst, right? The last chance qualifier, knowing that you've had a consistent performance, it could allow them to do the exact same, but you want to make it, again, as clean as possible for all of them. So teams at the bottom, the biggest concern today, maybe a couple different drop spots as well that we get to see now.
And Big Trip landing right on top of Rambox Gaming, and Rambox Gaming get involved first. 1 knock. And Rambox Gaming, 2 knocks. Luffy down as well after a trade. Ooh, trying to finish that one maybe a little too early. Everybody else getting involved now. 3 players left standing for Rambox Gaming, and they might get that res up as well. Yep, they'll get involved. Big Trip already eliminated. No kills whatsoever. No points on the board. They're going to be leaving that one the only team of this game that is completely pointless, and that is really a harsh blow, being 20 points away from getting out of that elimination zone and not getting any points in the 3rd game.
This is the last thing. This is the last thing that you want to happen on this side of Big Drip. You want them to perform at least to a decent level, even if they don't get, and if they don't make it all the way at the end. Those points, those skills are going to be everything, but the positioning at the end was the biggest nightmare that they had to face, and it seems like they couldn't really wake up at the end. So a little bit unfortunate for Big Drip, but we look forward. We look at the teams and the kills that we're able to connect, and Schoolbreaker as well. Losing 1 member early on, should be coming in with the rest soon enough to see how far they're able to get. Like I mentioned before, they're still in a very risky spot, the 20th one. And if we see the teams at the bottom having a better performance, they are going to be at risk too.
Yep. Rotations already coming through. First zone pushes towards the northwest, the exact opposite side of the map from the last game. Landed on command post towards the end. The chances of that happening once again are very, very slim. Sub 9D not quite as happy with their position as they were last game. Obviously, the sub now right outside of the zone. You can see Pizarro Esports are going to have to move in a little more. It's going to, I mean, it seems like they do play that edge game in Kalahari at the very least, so they'll probably be pretty happy with that. Team USA right in the middle of the action.
Right in the middle, as we get to see a lot of the same positionings too. We get to see once again Brothers YT all the way in that blue zone, and no one has contested them. First and now second map, we didn't really get to see that contest in Kalahari. Seems like it's going to continue that way. They're going to get a lot of good loot, but what do you do with it, right? It's the kills that are going to matter the most for them, especially. It's a team that hasn't have the best results. Even the team that we saw getting taken out first, Big Drip, was already getting better kills, better numbers than them.
Rox Gaming, again, taking control of Refinery, but this time they've moved out a little further. Club 9D are actually going to kind of, I think, steal control of that area if they move too far. They're really hunting for kills on Skullbreakers now. They're just running directly at them. I think trying to get more central in the zone is what they like to do on Kalahari, so just trying to get any position that's right in the middle of this one so that they can rotate quickly. Skullbreakers are going to be their first opposition towards this area. USA Esports trying to push in towards from the north as well, so Skullbreakers going to be pinched here a little if they're not careful. Rambuck's also coming up from the west, so this could be an awkward position to try and hold Foundation.
Skullbreaker, towards the beginning, they looked like they were in such a nice position, but now we get to see they're going to be completely surrounded. Everywhere that you look at, there's going to be an enemy that they have to face. And they also lost a long key so early on, so the numbers aren't even going their way.
M9D run directly into the spray of Zundel Esports. I'll keep that up. Just try and knock anything they can down so that they can't get their res off. But they are in a nice position now to hold this one. They've got the high ground. Club 9D jumped down to try and push forward. It didn't work out for them. Now I think Club 9D need to pray that Skullbreakers get involved quickly. It's IT Official and Brothers YT that are fighting over here. IT Official working to keep Brothers YT out of, well, to keep them in the elimination zone, to keep them out of the next level of competition. Make sure that they're not playing against them in a week's time. They'll push around, get 2 kills immediately. Looks like it's all but over for Brothers YT already. It's only been about 10 seconds in this fight.
YT got taken on so early on into that first one. They're now looking forward to changing things around from far away, putting the damage and that pressure. The glue walls trying to keep YT alive. To be able to do that for just enough. But the kills, yeah, the kills are going to connect the grenades as well. And IT taking down YT right away. Really, really nice, even from so far away.
And the auto shotguns ring out as Pizarro Esports jump on top of Osaka's heads, trying to make sure they have another just as bad game on Kalahari. They'll come in all the way, real quick. Adiel gets 2 knocks immediately. And more. He's got 3 knocks on the team of Osaka. They only get 1 in return. Now, somebody else just trying to keep them from running away. Jeremy, the last remaining standing member of Osaka, just trying to play round walls, trying to get as far away from this fight as possible. Adiel trying to hunt this kill down as well. He'll get knocked, but Jeremy has people coming up right behind him. The glue wall won't do anything to stop him from pushing onto him. Osaka are eliminated once again. They'll only earn 2 points in this game.
They are a really good start with the DL, but then boosting it for a little bit, the damage and the surrounding as well, the flank that was coming in, made the situation so much more difficult. Now Team 999 also in trouble. Mr. T not having so much to work with the damage that they have to eat into it, and the zone that is forcing them to move as well.
IT Official not out of the woods yet, quite literally and figuratively. Standing down there. Team 999 have figured out where they are. They now have to rotate round slowly but surely to keep Team 999 from pushing them, but they've got a good angle on everywhere they can go. Only Bebeto left standing at this point. Can he stay behind that wall forever? Not if Rasta's coming around from the side. They do get the res off. Stop Rasta from pushing in, but they're going to have to defend from close range before they can do anything else. Bebeto again is knocked. Sanji, last player standing, and he's knocked as well. I think Beto did run well away from the rest of the team much earlier on, because I can see him on the other side of the map right now. So, at the very least, they have 1 player left standing.
Somehow, some way managing to stay alive for IT, and it seems like it was a part 1 and part 2 fight that we got to see there for IT. Starting off well, and then starting to lose a little bit of momentum, having to rotate it, only having those goal walls for protection, which is really not ideal. But yeah, like you said, it's going to be Beto, the only one alive. Can get the rest. Oh, good chance as well for the team, as the action already taking place. On the other side is going to be Team USA. 2 kills already. Can't shut down the entirety of RBG.
It looks like that's exactly the plan. Team USA just shut down this side completely. There's only 1 player left, and that's it. Rambox Gaming eliminated. Team USA trying to make their push right now into that top 8. They are in 9th place currently. They're right behind Osaka. They could push Osaka back down into LCQs here and overtake them to take that grand final spot in the last 2 games. I think they probably will after this game with 5 kills already. If they get a couple more, they're looking at being in direct contention with Osaka for that last spot.
They're going to be very close at least when it comes to points. And now it is only a matter of who's able to take them down. If they're able to take them down here. But Pizarro, they want to engage. They want to get those kills. Skullbreaker, a little bit on the lower ground. A little bit of heal also that has to take place. And Pizarro, they're ready for the action.
Skullbreaker's defending from low ground. Nade. First one doesn't hit. Time Turner is committed. Clubber does not want to have any of that heat. Oh, but another one comes in. It's a little too far, but Domadios going around from the side. He packs a punch for the team, and he will take out Clubber. It's only Polonki left, and he is running for the hills. Well away from the Bizarre side, but I think Jam has already found out where he is, communicated that to the rest of the team, and in they move.
This is the one thing about Pizarro. They know and they are committed to those engagements. They know that they can get away with them so easily. So they do just that. Skullbreaker, and the last one's alive, getting taken down. Is Doro? It seems like the last one.
Oh!
Could have been running away, but
Cloud9D.
not even that.
Yeah, Cloud9D just saw him. Free kill. Tasty. Oh. Unfortunate game once again. Cloud9D getting on the board earlier on than they did last time. IT Official have run into some trouble once again. Team 999, who have been searching for them this whole time. They did manage to res up all of their players, but now Team 99 have found them again. Rasta dropping through the hole. Find him again. Oh, Bebeto stuck in a corner. There was nowhere he was going. IT Official once again. I mean, well, feeding Team 999 kill points now.
It's so unfortunate too, right? They're able to come back. They hope for a better result into this one with the proper and with the better amount of members alive, but it just doesn't really go their way. So only Beto seems like it's a deja vu for him happening. Last one alive, going to be surrounded. 999, they want to get this last kill too.
Oh, it is Bizarre who get the knock onto Beto, but that gives Team 999 the info on where they are. ADL finishes off that kill onto Beto, not wanting them to get the finish instead. But Team 999 have already done a little damage to Bizarre Esports. They do have a little hard cover to work with. Although they do need to move, it looks like Bizarre Esports can edgeguard them from this next zone.
Probably trying to run away here. The glow wall's only working as protection here into this bridge. Now as well, 999 doing so well, 5 kills so far. But this is where the trouble starts. Bizarre, they're so close to them.
Light keeps ringing out. Team USA could get involved very soon if they're not careful. IT Official still one player left standing in Sanji. But he needs to move as well. Actually, no, he doesn't. Never mind, he's on the other side. Now the camera is flipped compared to the map. So Esports slowly taking control of the bridge here. ADL is still down on the ground. There he is, he's rezzed. They're up on 7 kills and they're looking to get a couple more. 1 finish. Almost 2 finishes. No, they're going to try and get this knock first. Time Turner committed. Stays alive for now, but coming in from the back with the charge shotgun. Makulu. ADL takes 1 more down. The aerial support of the team. Res up. They can move out of that. Team 999 disengage. Just about get away.
Deal here. Pretty good performance, allowing Pizarro to get some extra kills that are going to be very, very nice for them. And he's just absolutely destroying the enemy. 11 kills already for Pizarro, looking for more. Looking at the distance, is going to be Team USA Esports. Hungry to get those kills too. The grenades can't connect very well into it too.
Team USA are now the team trying to contest them for this position. Sanji, you can see, still camping out on top of this roof, just trying to play for positional points at this point. Sorry, Spots could find him here if they just accidentally... Oh, dear. Well, that's not fortunate at all. The Time Turner is down, but IT Official are going to be eliminated by just a random reposition from Bizarre Esports. Just trying to get high ground. One of them eliminated... Oh, not one of them eliminated. One of them knocked and eliminated by Rasta. Never mind. Rasta fighting back after what was a bad fight for his team, he's capitalized on it quite nicely.
I really like those grenades on the side of Pizarro. They are putting that pressure. They're really denying those angles that the enemies have been wanting to take this time around for the side of Team USA. They can't really get away out of this area. They have to play around, and we also know how Pizarro, they like to also contest it. They like to go in that low ground, guarantee those kills as soon as possible, and catch the enemy off guard. So maybe another one of those cases. As of right now, though, Team USA managing to stay alive.
Zundel Esports, did you forget about them? Because they're running in on Techo. Pizarro Esports are going to lose another member very quickly. Seems like they definitely forgot about Zundel Esports. Zeus is knocked, but the rest of the team is running in. They do get the finish point. That's very fortunate for Techo here, but he's going to have to run very quickly. And Team USA, they're getting involved now. And they get a couple of kills on this one. A grenade is launched into the house. Techo, his body is showing a little bit. Jeff can't find the shot to kill him. Oh, things didn't work out quite as well as Zundel would have liked there.
So the damage is done, but a little bit of slower momentum that takes place. 90 as well on the game. Has a really good positioning to work, but are getting the kills too. Team USA alive for so long, but now 90 are putting a challenge into it too, and not really going so well for Team USA. Jumpster so low.
Pizarro Esports, Team 999, Team USA, Zundel, all on the low ground, forgot about this high ground while they were fighting each other. Now Cop9D have full control of the map. They've turned it from 1 kill to 3 kills, and they can just protect this hillside here. Pizarro Esports trying to scale it, but they've got all sides of it covered. Cop9D looking at an absolutely amazing position compared to everybody else. Oh, no! Lectra tries to get a shot in, but Cop9D are going to be the guys to finish off that fight for Team USA now. In moves Cop9D on the Pizarro Esports players trying to climb this mountain. And he puts down a glue wall to stop himself from getting killed, but he's going to be knocked by Steve Craig. Jumps off the cliff to his death. After getting that kill, it's just Techo alive for Pizarro Esports, and Cop9D, they don't know where he is, so they're just going to go for the res, and it's going to be to their detriment. Techo takes a headshot onto White. He's the only player left standing, but he's taken Cop9D down to 2 players.
Techo?
Both finishes for him as well.
Yeah. Techo here and 90 trying to stay alive into this one. A lot of damage that has been taken early on, but the destruction could be it. Team USA also barely managing to stay alive, and it's such a messy area too. There's so many angles in the high ground and that low ground to allow teams for a better positioning. Team USA, I think it's going to be surrounded here, and 90 has a right idea. It seems like of where the last member is going to be located.
The glue walls go down to try and keep him alive. They'll just buy him some time, but in the meantime, Techo is rotating round, and that Shark Shotgun is going to do a lot, but the reses are coming through from Pizarro Esports. The longer Club9D take, the worse it is, but they get eliminated by Mudo, even though he's only 1 player left standing. That new Shark Shotgun is doing so much work for them. Can he take it all the way to a win? Takes them by surprise, maybe he can. Only time to get 1 res in for Pizarro Esports. He hasn't got a lot of health. No! USA Esports eliminated, and it's Pizarro Esports who take their 2nd Kalahari in a row.
Really, really nice performance once again for Pizarro, and it looked a lot more challenging, but it seems like this time around Pizarro was able to play a little bit into the strategy of Team 999 that we got to see that late rest that came in clutch, really, and to disable that 1v1 to happen where, you know, those grenades, those glue walls might make it a little bit more messy. So Kalahari, both of those Kalaharis going on the side of Pizarro, pretty much expected. Looking at the kills that they had so early on, it was over 10, 11 kills that they had. I don't even know how many they ended up with.
Yeah, I think it ended up being, after those 2 Club9D kills, 13, I think 14 over that whole game they managed to pick up. So that's going to be, what, 26 points. That's a massive little bounty for them. And that closes the gap to Fuego massively up into this one. I think they only need about 20 points left to overtake them and take first place in the group stage overall. But other storylines, USA Esports managing to get towards the end there with a massive comeback. I think they will overtake Osaka in this one and get into the grand final position, the provisional 8th place. But wow, what a game that was.
Yeah, that was a really nice game, especially at the end. I love the way that they had to play around that cliff. It's so messy, and even Team USA seemed to almost have clutched many of those fights, but at the end of the day, in that low ground, cannot really reposition and just gets away with it. And another team that we got the chance to see a lot of towards the beginning was that Team IT. A lot of presence that got completely lost, came back, and also just came back to get taken down pretty much in the first minute that we got to see them again.
Yeah. Sports obviously doing a lot of the work for everybody. And I mean, once again, taking away a lot of points from teams that could have really used those points to get further up. Club9D, there is a bit of a target on their back, so only about 30 points away from being eliminated from this one. Luckily, they got a lot of kills in towards the end, so they're going to get quite a few points, especially positioning-wise, coming third in position as well. See Team 999 doing well as well. They're right above Club9D in the standings, so they'll also be very happy with their performance. But I mean, really, the team that has to be happiest with this one is Team USA, who I guess, in a way, are the winners of this game in terms of how they've performed on the overall standings. 29 points, in fact, for Pizarro Esports, more than we thought they had even, and USA Esports coming away with 17.
Yeah, 17 kills coming in for Pisa. Really, really nice performance from them, and the way that they're balancing things from engagements to having to back up, having to play a little bit more, just self-aware of their own positioning and who could be coming up close is what it's allowing them over and over again to be at the top of the board. They do it again and another booyah. And I've said, sports all really good performance, also able to get a good amount of kills, and especially because those teams that got taken down so early, they could really do nothing about it. So it's more points going their way. Team USA, hands of Bermuda, that we get to see 6 alone. Yeah, he was able to get.
Yeah, his clutch at the end to Club D. I'll take him from 4 to 6. 3 members of Pizarro Esports show up on this kill board here. Team getting involved as well. But let's see how that affects the standings for. Take 30 points, all reps left to play down. 50 into the top 3. 52 points. Club9D also moving up, taking Zundel Esports' place as 4th place there. And, wow, I mean, that's big for today. But overall, I think the big storyline here, USA Esports right behind Osaka. They're now tied 4 points. And, I mean, going into the last 2 maps, that's going to be massive. Maybe both teams will overtake DN Esports and push them out of the grand final spot. They could definitely both get that place.
It seems like.
Do what they did to Navy earlier on. And Club9D, though, also quite close to them. You can see only less than 40 points away now.
For Osaka and USA Esports, it would be pretty much the good ending here. Both of them are able to move up. You put DN down, and it just ends up in a very, very nice way for both of the teams. That again, we were able to see the pressure that they have and the pressure to get those kills, and the contention into the early fights that take place all the way until the end. So again, it should be a nice result for them. As also, on the other side, we get to see Pizarro getting very, very close, potentially getting that first spot. Again, it's just pretty much expected looking at the teams, looking at the players as well. Players that already know what the championship in that first place feels like, and they are craving for that feeling again.
Yeah, Pizarro Esports closed the gap to Fuego to 7 points. I'd be very surprised if they don't get 7 points over the course of both Purgatory games. But either way, looking to be first place in the not in the grand finals, but in the group stage. That's a big bragging right there, obviously. It doesn't really do anything for you in terms of getting into the grand finals. There's no kind of seeding to go with there, but you know, it's going to be nice to say we came first in the group stage, no matter what happens in the next stage of the tournament. That's big for them. But yeah, no, I mean, the way Osaka and USA Esports are both playing might put them both over that line. At the same time, it would be, the nice ending. Happy times. Apart from DN Esports, who put in an absolute shift yesterday to get to where they are. Both being overtaken by 2 teams would be very, very sad for them. Either way, that's it done for this map, Kalahari, and we're going to head to another short break. We're splitting up today into a couple smaller pieces, so we're going to have just a little short break. before we come back.
프리파이어와 방탄소년단이 콜라보레이션을 진행하게 되었습니다.
네, 방탄소년단 스타일의 이모치가 궁금하시다면요. 네.
우리가 디자인한 코스튬을 입고 싶으신가요?
그러면 프리파이어에 접속하세요.
많은 깜짝 선물이 기다리고 있으니
프리파이어와 방탄소년단의 콜라보레이션 기대해주세요. 네, 많은 관심과 사랑 부탁드립니다.
프리파이어!
프리파이어!
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Free Fire Pro Series for North America. We just got done with our 4th game of the day, the 4th game in the last day of the group stage. Once again, can't stress that enough. Nothing is changing after this one. This is the day when 4 people are cut from the 24 teams we have in there today, and then 12 more teams are sent into the last chance qualifiers next week for another, 33% chance of getting through, depending on how well you play. So once again, I'm with Dryad. We're going to be heading into Purgatory next. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I mean, 2 more maps to go, right? 2 Purgatories to see how things are going to end up, and should be a good one, right? We already saw Pizarro getting 2 Booyahs in a row. How many more can they get? Will they be able to get more? There's a lot of questions here, and this is truly the day that matters the most in those group stages. A lot of questions that we've had, a lot of teams that aren't even playing today, but have to be sweating, looking at those points going up and up for their enemies that were looking very close. And it was those teams that were in the 9th, 10th position, potentially overtaking those all the way at the top. It's just 2 really good groups that we have competing today.
Yeah, we're going to see how that pans out going into Purgatory, obviously, as we get closer and closer to the edge. That competition gets more and more feverish, and right now, really, the big storyline is USA and Osaka. Who will come out on top? Will they both overtake DN Esports? Will they send them back down into the LCQs? Yeah, there's a pretty high likelihood. I feel like that DN Esports are going to be sitting there sweating right now, as only a couple, 9 points difference, somewhere around there, until they're eliminated.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
There's 9 points, the easy kills here that they were able to get early on, and they also have 2 Purgatories to make it happen, right? So it's really easy for these 2 teams to overtake DN. And again, DN just have to be sweating, have to be watching this and praying for the best result for them. And again, I mean, at least they don't get fully eliminated, right? The last chance qualifier is not the worst thing to deal with. It's just a nice one. It gives you still a chance to qualify and to get to those grand finals that everyone is trying to lock. But the easier and the fastest you're able to lock those spots, the better it's going to be. So now, into Purgatory, and the action already taking place.
Once again, Osaka and IT Official engaging with each other immediately. Very, very quick. This happened 2 maps in a row, different maps as well, and it looks like it's Osaka coming out on top so far. 1 knock that'll be got right back up, and 1 finish for them. Onto Bebeto.
It just seems like at this point they were looking for each other. We see it in 2 different maps as well. It just seems like it's meant to be for this early engagement to take place. And the shotguns as well, that can do quite a lot of damage after that first blood that we got to see. So playing it very careful is what Osaka is going to aim to do, and trying to get some information early too.
Yeah. Big trip. They're partying on this one a little bit. They're over towards the ski lodge. Towards the north side of the ski lodge, where, I mean, IT Official also around there, but Osaka are now hunting for IT Official players, and that could be pretty bad. They're not too well equipped so far, you can see. Not many glue walls to work with, not too many guns either. Ski lodge, obviously, a lot of loot around.
For Big Drip, it's a little bit of a risky situation, right? We know they're one of those teams all the way at the bottom, and we also know them for trying to engage very early on into the enemy, not really having the best results to do so. So if they're going to aim for this one, it has to be a confidence push to guarantee, and it's already not really working either way.
Yeah, IT Official trying to stay away from Osaka. It hasn't worked out so far. Only 1 player is left standing for them. Big Drip is actually closest to the last remaining player for IT Official, who's going to run away now and inevitably try and get that res going. Will they get away? Did they see them through the door there? I think that is what happened.
Yeah.
Big Drip chasing this one down now, and it would be a valuable point for them, plus a valuable elimination. Obviously, IT Official are in no danger, really, of getting knocked out of the tournament. But, oh, there we go. Brothers YT, another team that really needed the points. Ahead of them. So, IT Official under them. They need the points, but it still would have been nice.
It's still nice, at least, to make it to maybe the top 8, the top 6, where you get more chances to get kills as the zone gets smaller and smaller, and you're able to maybe catch an enemy off guard, as we see. But Big Drip as well, they are in trouble here.
Yeah, these are two teams that are right next to each other at the bottom of the leaderboard here. Brothers YT on 167 points, Big Trip on 170. 3 points separate them so far, and both of them could get out of this lower four if they really, really put in a shift in these last games. And Big Trip, it's not going to happen for leave with only 1 point to their name. Actually, 0 points, sorry, because Brother YT, they picked up the kill onto the IT official player. So 5 kills for them, and they're already into the contention for the placement points as well. This is a massive game for them. They could lift themselves off of 24th position.
It's a really big chance here, as in a completely different area here. We see P-Star that is also hungry for yet another booyah, yet another victory. The kills are not going to take too long to take place for them, for P-Star, and we see a little bit more of those even kills for the teams at the top. And YT, like I said, a team that was all the way at the bottom with the kills early on can be the confidence builder, can be the momentum that they needed to guarantee maybe 2-3 more that would give them way more chances into it.
Yeah, they do need 2 relatively good games. They need 28 points over the course of 2 games to overtake their closest contenders, guarding 20th position, which is Duel Kings, who finished their point scoring yesterday on 205. They do have a target on their backs now. OG Wipe Gang, another team in the bottom 4, engaging on Skullbreakers, who are just outside of the bottom 4. Well, they're going to end in 9th place, and they have 207 points. They could be overtaken as well. They could be, if if Brothers YT and OG Wipe Gang get involved in this game, they could go back into that bottom 4 Skullbreakers. So they need to be very careful with how they play in the last game of the day.
It's going to be Team 999 hiding in the meantime as well, and seeing what can be done here in the duel and OG as well. Another thing that we talked about a lot today, they had as many kills have been taken down early, and it seems like it might just 989 for in different parts of section, but to be better for Team 999.
It's going to be painful for OG Wipe Gang now. They did so well to win out that fight against Skullbreakers, but now Team 999 getting involved is going to kind of crush their hopes of getting too many points in this map, at the very least. Fearful, sorry, probably is Fearful. Coming up against the last 4 members here of Team 999, hiding out, using the glue walls, trying to get around the corner. They're both in the zone now. They need to start moving quickly if they want to get away from this one. But Feverful takes a fight back to them. The snack that bites back, but no, OG Wipe Gang eliminated just when they needed points the most.
Unfortunate here, but something that Team 999 is going to be able to capitalize from as they start moving out of this positioning. It has to happen soon. But there's another fight on the other side of Saka. Got taken on so early into the last one. Had pretty good results before. Needs to try to do it again and needs to do it quickly.
Yeah, you can see that. Choke shotgun, charge shotgun. Trying to use that to get around the corners. Obviously, you can charge it before you turn around the corner and then just slam somebody in the face with it. Now, when you get around that, they will get 1 knock onto this Rambox Gaming side. Rambox Gaming did do so well today that I feel like that they are well enough away from the bottom 4 that this doesn't matter too much for them. But Osaka, they really need the points. This is massive for them. Again, I think they already have actually enough points to overtake DN Esports, which just means that they're up into 7th position now. Well, obviously not yet, not until the end of the game, but I think they're pretty safe now at this point, and that means that they're relatively safe moving forward in the tournament.
Is a good area of points that can be guaranteed, and an area of points that everyone is trying to get for the last teams remaining. 7 here in RBG. Only have 1 alive. Seems like can bring some others alive. Yeah, the rush to be able to connect. Another chance for them into this one, but the tension's still so close because of how close they're playing to Osaka. So they're going to wait for the right time. They have a long way to go before doing so.
Yep, now everybody, even, Brothers YT, who generally don't get involved too much, they know they need points, and they're getting right involved. They're on the danger zone right next to Pizarra Esports. A team, on the opposite end of the standings here. 22 teams do separate these two in terms of points, but they're still going for it. Brothers YT, they don't care. Any team that's in front of them, they need to eliminate them to get the points they need, so why not take out Pizarra Esports? They're going to have to do it at some point.
I mean, it's not the duel that you want to take, but it's gonna be a try to see if it's going to be possible. At least a couple kills, at least shutting down even a little bit of momentum for Pizarro. But as of right now, it is not going to be the case. Finishing that kill too, we see Pizarro looking very, very comfortable into this proper fight that we got to see.
You know, Brothers YT knocked down to 2 members, Chromatica and Chucky, who will run away and try and get reses up before anything else happens. Club 9D being fired upon now by Team USA, another team really trying to get points and stick their place in the grand finals. On the same amount of points currently before this game started as Osaka. They can't let them get too far away from them because they do need to get 7 points in these last 2 games to secure their place in that top 8. It's really important for them to just do something here, just win a fight. That's the main goal.
Music here, a little bit of a high gear to take control of. Really nice shots as well. 90 can get taken down from it, but also not taking too much of a risky positioning. Not really looking to go for the proper engagement, but waiting for the right timing to do so.
Chromatica, in the meantime, has been taken down once again by Adil, leaving only Chucky, the last player standing for Brothers YT. Their hopes kind of rely on him at this point. They do need a lot of points to get out of this one. They're going to need to get 20 or so points per game to get out of this sticky situation that they're in. And that's really not looking like it's going to happen. They left it too little, too late, I feel like. So Rambox Gaming now right next to Bizarre Esports, who are currently on a lot of kills. 7 kills, not the kill leaders, but pushing in. That's 2 knocks already. That's just terrifying. The Rambox Gaming side, everybody getting involved, but absolutely no mercy shown whatsoever.
Oh, Dio is just absolutely popping up into this one. Okay, nice response there. Turning around.
Didn't last for too long. Brothers YT in the meantime eliminated as well. That's really got to hurt for them. I mean, they're going to need to win next game by a landslide to even get out of the elimination zone at this point. But very good for Bizarre Esports once again. Don't need any points. Doing incredibly well either way. Club 9D now trying to rotate out and Team USA re-engaging on top of them. And they're in a very, very awkward place to try and move up. Ooh. Never mind.
Shot.
Yeah.
A nice shot there from far away, but now your risky ability where to be. First though, any kills, any grenade, a nice grenade. The team's locating exactly where you're going to be in the bridge. Doesn't even offer as much protection, so any kills, any grenade, a nice grenade could be a good chance here.
Yeah, running a car into the team, usually a pretty decent strategy. They'll move in. Steve Gray gonna take the fight on head first. Nice nade will send a lot of them, well, zone a lot of them away from them. But Exhale, Joshua, Mudo get on the board. Only 1 player left standing in Steve Gray. The person who initiated the fight is going to be the last standing, using glue walls to try and keep him away, but Club 9D once again get eliminated in 5th position. No kills to their name whatsoever. They get barely any points for that game.
A nice cleanup there as well. Team 99 knowing exactly how they have to play it. Team USA as well managing to stay in this game. So we are down to 4 teams, and Pizarro still looking strong. All members for this 4 teams seem to be alive, and the grenades are already taking place. The glues for protection for Pizarro. It just seems like this last teams, they're so good at shining in a KO situation like this when Osaka went down.
Yeah, Osaka, unfortunately, you know, being zoned out by Bizarre Esports, one of them walks backwards into the zone and gets knocked by that. Jeremy also eliminated from that one. So now only 2 players standing. Oh, the charged shotgun does not go off quick enough. And only 1 player left. Osaka eliminated. 4th position. Bizarre Esports cleaning up everything. USA Esports in the meantime getting absolutely kept out of the zone by Team 999. Only 1 player left standing, going for a long rotate round to the south of the map. The way he's getting res, so Team 999 also getting on the board once again.
Because of that, it's going to be trying to get that better positioning as soon as possible, but Pizarro has the right idea of where Team UC can be located. Already took quite a lot of damage as well, so it can be a good opportunity for them. Pizarro, again, they're ready for the kills. They're ready to create the damage, create that chaos, and far is turning out to be very, very good for them. The rest connecting, so everyone back alive on the side of PSR.
Yeah, Bizarre Esports now launching themselves at Team 999, who have taken the nice position up on top of the hill for the next zone. Firing down on top of them, an immediate headshot onto Jam will knock him down, and everybody's in the middle of nowhere. Teko comes around behind them. Can he get anything done from this flanking position? Dominios, lots of health taken away, tries to hide behind a tree, gets behind there just in time, but the off angle from Tail might just be able to take him down. The nade thrown in, he's knocked down. It's Jam and Adil left standing, apart from the player left behind them, Teko, who's well away from the rest of his team. If Team 999 just run him over, it could do so much damage to them. Mr. T gets another knock. It's just Adil running round outside his zone. He's knocked down as well, and it's only one player left in Teko, who moved all the way around behind them to the tents.
That is absolutely insane what we get to see PSR 1 by 1 getting taken down, positioning so well around Team 999 to keep the team alive, to make sure that even if one gets taken down, they're able to come up with a booyah, and it's only down to these teams. A lot of the kills, a lot of the damage that has already been taken, and Team USA, with the chances that they had, also seem to be slowly fading away for them.
Team 999 now just hunting for kills. Teko has moved strategy from flank them and kill them all to hide behind the barrier. Joshua has been found, though, in the meantime. Uses a time turner to give himself some time to get away from this one. But, oh, that's a headshot that'll kill him immediately. Makulu taking him out. It's only Teko. Teko versus the Wild. Teko versus Team 999. Team 999 looking to get the second win of the day. Bizarre Esports looking to get their third. Here we go. What can he do against 3 members? He bides his time as slowly as possible, looking for the best chance to get these guys, but I think they found out where he is. Rasta moving up the side of the hill. Teko engages. Blue wall to get in close. Rasta trying to get all the way around and get in close range, and he'll take him out in one. Rasta wins it for Team 999, their second booyah of the day.
It looks very, very even between these two teams. PSR only one alive. The hopes for the entire team that just faded away. I mean, at the end of the day, quite a lot of kills that they were able to get on PSR, and also Team 999, who, when they are getting kills, when they have a good performance from the beginning, they truly seem to be unstoppable. We saw it in Bermuda. We get to see it again in first map Purgatory. And I mean, who knows what can happen next between them. It's a really nice positioning that they're able to do. The communication seems to be shining so nice for Team 999 to know when they're going to push forward, when they're going to push and pressure the enemy, and when they're just going to play for that better positioning, better location. Now giving them the victory, giving them those points that we talked about they really, really want. They want the security.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, now at this point, they're 50 points clear of that 8th kind of barrier. So they're quite safe now, and especially with that win, they have no worries whatsoever for the last map. But other teams that really do need to be scared right now, obviously TN Esports, I think, are now probably very close to being out, if not out completely. Osaka and USA Esports are hot on their tails. It's Club 9D that I'm worried about. It's very possible. Actually, no. It's really not. Never mind. I don't think it's really possible for that many teams to get up unless IT Official get heavily involved in the next game. But either way, I mean, every team is really, really just trying to solidify their position in this last standing here. And, the 4 teams at the bottom, Big Trip, Brothers YT, OG Wipe Gang, you've got to be really scared for them at this point, because although they did really make some inroads this game, is it enough? I don't think so.
I also don't. It's so difficult to guarantee to have that security, even as we approach the last map, the last possibility to get points in this group stage. There's still a lot of questions. There's still a lot of duels that have to be settled between teams to guarantee what is going to happen, and especially, we've seen the teams at the top continuing to get higher and higher, continuing to get more points to move up. But those at the bottom, they really have been struggling. I know you mentioned IT Official, for example, and this is a team that we see very early on trying to go for engagements, looking like they're going to get on the better side of it, and out of nowhere, shut down, denied of many possibilities, denied of many opportunities to see alive into those maps. And it is something that at this point you don't really want it to happen. We saw them, like we see now, getting taken down first, and Big Drip following after. So these are the teams at the bottom that have to really go insane into what is last.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, speaking of which, OG Wipe Gang, who I think were probably, well, I mean, they were the closest. I think we're quite actually close to getting towards that border. Obviously, they have Tankers ahead of them, and they have Dual Kings ahead of them, I'm pretty sure, in the overall standings. We'll take a look at that in just a second. But getting 4 points this game after not participating in the last 2 maps is absolutely massive for them, by the way. If we just look at over there at the 8th position on the right side there. But, I mean, Team 999, massive for them. Pizarro Esports, massive for them. But we don't care about them particularly right now. They've already locked in their place for the grand finals. It's everybody. It's the people that are going to lose that we care about, obviously. USA Esports definitely needed those points. I think they're going to move up into that safety as well as Osaka. But we'll see about that one in just a little bit. Adil coming away once again, 7 kills. He's going to be by far the kill leader of the group stage at the end of today, I can imagine. But Rasta also getting on the board with 6.
Deal was already the one every single day that he had to play, getting the most kills. It is absolutely insane what this player is able to do, and we get to see it today. It seems like the first map was a little bit slower for Pizarro, got taken down pretty early on, but they're really catching up to that momentum. They're really feeling the heat, and they're really looking to get as far as they can, just because they can. Really, it's really the confidence more than anything that Pizarro is allowing the team to be new and to be brought to the table. And on the other side, like you said, the ones that we're concerned about are the teams at the bottom. Like, the points are so close. A single good performance that he had into this last one can change things around. The ones like Big Dribble, the ones like Brothers YT, even though have been able to get some kills early on, you continue to get taken down first in so many scenarios.
You know, the big names we're thinking about right now, Pizarro Esports obviously take themselves first. They're going to end today in first place for the group stage. Lovely for them. But look, Osaka and USA have both overtaken DN Esports. DN Esports now officially out of the runnings for the grand finals. They're locked into the LCQs. Unfortunate for them after the shift they put in yesterday. But Osaka and USA pretty much lock in their position for the grand finals with that game. Massive from them. OG Wipe Gang is the last team we're looking at here. 7 points, I guess 8 points away from getting out of elimination. If they get 8 points in the next game, they will secure themselves a spot in the LCQs.
But a lot of pressure to, give it your all to have a good performance into this one for those last couple teams, and even for the teams that just have to secure a little bit of a higher spot. School Breaker being one of them. We got a chance to see it, and Sundell started also playing very, very strongly. So just wanting to go as far up as he can, and also just being able to get as much confidence as he can from this one to prepare for the last chance qualifiers more than anything, as all the teams at the bottom are looking forward to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really, really, really going to be tight for OG Wipe Gang here. It's really the only team that can change their position at this point in a meaningful way. So it's really going to be all on them at this point, unless IT Official put in a 50-point game. Doubt that's going to happen. And I mean, that's it. That's really it. Skullbreakers maybe could move down if OG Wipe Gang and Brothers YT both get heavily involved in this game. But apart from that, yeah, OG Wipe Gang is really who we're looking at in this last game of the day. Everybody else pretty much locked in. So last game of Purgatory, and it's all on these guys to lock in their new position.
Absolutely, and so we're going to rely a lot on those kills that happen early on, but in a way that is also keeping the team alive, right? We see teams like Big Drip that had a good performance towards the beginning, seemed like they were going to connect the kills, but the positioning and the shot calling more than anything doesn't seem to be shining for them as much. So it's an unfortunate one for them, trying to end it up best way possible into this last Purgatory.
Well, all eyes now on this last game, on this last team. OG Wipe Gang, I'm really, really interested in how they play this one. You really, really want to see them play it smart here, and it looks like they're heading right towards Ski Logs, right that they did last time, next to Osaka, who could stop them from getting into the last chance qualifiers. Now, Osaka, who have already locked in their place for the grand finals, could ruin OG Wipe Gang's dreams here, but it's Pain who opens things up. Feverful gets on the board as well. OG Wipe Gang looking to make it an immediate entry into the last chance qualifiers. Osaka can't get a single kill. They're eliminated. OG Wipe Gang 3 points away from getting in to the last chance qualifiers in the first minute of the game.
That is a very, very nice way to start it off. You know the stakes, you know the pressure, you gotta change things around. And that is an immediate change that we get to see into this last map. An immediate action as well that goes exactly the way that they had planned. Osaka has to be on the worst side of it. But it is at the end of the day for OG. It's at the end of the day to guarantee the last opportunity to get to the last chance qualifier. So far, doing so well. But a little bit more points that are going to be needed, and I want to see how they engage into the next team.
Yeah, it's really 2 schools of thought for them now. Get 3 kills, or survive until you are the 8th team standing. Those are the 2 routes you have into the last chance qualifiers at this point. I mean, intrigued to go see which one. Obviously, that means that 3 more teams would have to be eliminated before then to stay into this one. So they really need to be careful. Skullbreakers, who actually, well, I mean, it's doubtful that they will drop down, but that's a unfortunate way to end the last game when you're so close to the elimination stage.
It's a little risky. You mentioned it before. They're very, very close, but it doesn't really depend on them at this point, but what the teams at the bottom are able to do. And this is a team for the set of OG that was already looking a little bit terrifying, but still having the pressure to have a really nice performance to change things around. And Pisar is also letting themselves know quite a lot of action as well that has to be taking place here.
Yep, Bizarre Esports, who probably have already checked out at this point. They don't need any more points. Rambox Gaming starting to get some kills on them. It's going quite well for them. Santos, it's 2 on the board, and a finish as well for his troubles. Rambox Gaming already with 1 point, and Bizarre Esports kind of trying to get away from them here. Samu repositions quickly. He'll get another knock onto Jam. Only 1 player standing for Bizarre Esports now. Trying to run away, Teko. Seems to be his role for the team is getting away from the team, interestingly. Rest of the hill. Can he get away? It's a sprinter's game now. Trying to find some hard cover. There's absolutely nothing to work with. Now he's just got to try and get away. Bizarre Esports eliminated 10th. Doesn't matter for them. They've already locked in first place. OG Esports, though. Oh no, this could be very difficult for them if Sundel Esports keep them out of here. 3 players knocked. They only need 3 more points, but Sundel Esports trying to stop them from doing that. If they get knocked out at this stage of the tournament, that is... Oh wait, no, wait. How many teams have been eliminated? Oh no, they need to survive 1 more team. This is it.
1.
It's a margin of literally 1 team here. And Jay has to try and keep himself alive. They won't get in to the last chance qualifiers. OG Wipe Gang 1 point away from getting out.
Oh, that is so unfortunate for OG. So close, but so far. I can't really believe it. You can't really make this up. 1 single point to separate them from the last chance qualifier at OG. It seems like they were playing a lot slower, but they got caught into a fight that they didn't even want to take. They just had to wait a little bit longer. They had to wait for 1 more team to get taken down, as now Big Drift ready for the action, is getting the kills too, and is ready to get as far as possible. Look at this, into this house, the glue walls for protection, and on the other side, Team USA leaving a seed win. That was such a messy fight. Team USA coming up on the top of it.
Just to clear things up why we know that they're not getting through, there's a tiebreaker thing that goes on. The first tiebreaker is cumulative total kills, and the team that they have to contend against, who they are now tied on points for, 205 they will be on after this game. They will be tied for points for 20th position here. Dual Kings have 63 cumulative total kills over the whole tournament. OG Wipe Gang, after that full squad wipe, will be on 55, so they will lose out in the tiebreaker, and they will lose out on getting to the last chance qualifiers. That is a heart-wrenching... That is... that's 8 kills over the whole tournament away from them getting through to the next stage. 8 kills.
Yeah.
And
wow.
and in this game, 1 eliminated in the next 15.
Trying to be caught up in a fight that they didn't even want to take in the first place. They knew that playing smart was a better decision rather than playing aggressive and playing for those kills, but wrap around, surrounded, taken down. Really, really unfortunate. We talked about everyone here that we have remaining. The 7 teams, they're pretty much set for what is going to look like for them. YT and to get maybe some more points. Everyone else kind of in the mid to top table.
Yeah. Can't get over how heart-wrenching that is. The rest of the game, no positions are going to change here. I mean, everything else is pretty much set in stone at this point. It's just kind of bragging rights now. Club9D getting a lot of damage onto Zundel Esports, getting 1 kill. The rest of the team gonna stay well away from them. You really just can't get over how close the margins are over the course of 4 weeks. 4 weeks, and it came down to a 10-second engagement that stopped them from getting through into the next stage.
It's just, yeah, I think it's also the nature of how Free Fire can play, right? Sometimes you can have an absolutely insane performance of like Team 99, for example, has been able to do, but other teams really, really struggle to have good days and really struggle to have those consistent good days, consistent good maps. So definitely has to be frustrating for OG, but now, I mean, looking at what's next, looking at the damage as well starts to take place for the teams remaining into this map.
YT theoretically can get out of the elimination here if they do well enough in this game, but they do need a lot of points to get through. Yeah, they are about 28, I think. 28 points away from getting through on this one, and the likelihood you're getting 28 points in a game is low enough, even if you're Bizarre Esports, let alone Brothers YT, who up until today were at the bottom of the leaderboard. I don't see it happening. So, unfortunately, our only other team that could have progressed themselves further in the tournament, not going to be able to make it happen, I don't think. But they're doing quite a good job at fighting back against Team 999 at the very least. Shadow and Chucky still standing. Awkward position, but they've got a little bit of cover to work with, and they can just kind of play the zone at this point.
So far, doing so good for the teams. Team YT suffer a couple losses here, and Team 90 as well, letting themselves know in the kill feed, trying to get some pressure. And this is something that we've seen, the consistency of 90 being able to get a couple kills into the early to mid of this map and just finishing off in very, very messy ways. But it's what everyone is trying to get a little more points, trying to see if you're able to even move up, even if it doesn't matter, to guarantee you that grand finals or the last chance qualifier. Just feel a little bit better about yourself.
Yep. YT trying to finish off this fight. Team 999 trying to finish off this fight too. Tail stuck outside the zone, as well as Chucky. Gonna try and guard him from that one, but Rasta comes in from behind. It's like that image macro of the 4 people in a church aiming at each other. Tail will take out Shadow. They all turn in on him at the same time. It's just Chucky left. And their chances dwindling, yeah.
The only Chucky remaining, and with quite a lot of pressure. Again, getting those over 20 points are already difficult enough, but making it at the end, connecting, and being able to bring your team back to life. There's so many things that you have to take into account, and mistakes that at the end should have been fixed early on, even today, a little bit earlier today, to give them a chance to continue playing for this tournament, to continue having the opportunity for the last chance qualifier. But at the end of the day, things happen for teams, and because of that, it's just at this point trying to make it as far as you can, trying to get some nice kills to end up the point system that we have.
Yeah. 9D going for the early rotation in towards the egg drop there. IT official right next to them. Zundel Esports moving in from Forge. And trying to push on Campsite as well, actually. Zundel Esports pushing on Rambox Gaming as well down there. But again, it slows down. Only 7 teams left in this earlier stage of the game does mean that not much is going to be happening.
It does seem more like a casual game, and it really goes back to how the last map could have ended up in a more positive way for the teams at the bottom, to give them a chance to see more action taking place. And the biggest action that we saw going on was pretty much right away, right? The first 2 minutes, and Team OG knowing what they had to do, having the right plan, but also being caught off guard. So into the teams remaining, into those 7 teams. It's still YT, still Chucky, hoping to stay alive for a little bit longer, making it as far as possible. But you really gotta know your chances.
Yep. You can see Chucky has moved in. Makulu is guarding this house and I think knows that he's there, just doesn't want to push him at this point. Nade goes in. Yeah, they both know where each other are. Just game of cat and mouse now. Chucky just trying to get to the vending machine, buy back a revive. Sees Makulu, but his teammates are there to help him out as well, so it's really important that he gets this one. He did get a revive off. Real important. He's going to be taken out for his troubles, though. IT official have moved in at the same time and eliminated him.
Drew able to come back here, so YT completely still not completely eliminated, still standing a chance. The damage already done. It seems like there's also quite a lot of pressure going into the southern part of the map. But a lot of fights as well. IT managing to stay alive, and also when it comes to Team 999, already got Ball and Booyah won the second one.
Absolutely. Everybody in towards each other now. Everything just came to a head at the same time. IT official on top of Rambox Gaming, on top of Team 999, on top of Team USA now. Everybody right next to each other. You can see Pedro Boy up on top of the roof there. Last player left for Brothers IT once again. USA Esports eliminated by Rambox Gaming, but at the same time, IT official trying to take out Team 999 here. Bebeto taken down by Tail. Tail finishes that one off quickly. IT official trying to strike back now. Running around the corner, Tail commits the time turner, pushes around, but he's going to be eliminated. Team 999 down 5th. It's IT official who, right after they could have made a push towards that top 8, start getting their points.
For YT as well, 4th place, not the worst, but still a long way to go, only having 1 alive, and IT being alive for a little bit longer than we've been able to see before. The damage already connecting, and also the side of Zendel managing to stay alive. We saw them early on today. They kind of slowed down, but they're looking to wrap things up in a good way for the team.
Shutdown.
Yeah, and after that, team kill from Zendel. Unfortunately, mathematically, Brothers YT cannot win this game with enough points to get themselves into the out of the elimination stage. Unfortunately, they only have 2 kills on the board. The maximum amount of points they can get with the remaining players left is, what, 8 plus 12, 20 points. They need 28 to get out of the elimination bracket. So, unfortunately, no matter what, they're playing for absolutely nothing now. IT Official and Zendel Esports, the 2 full teams left standing. Now Zendel Esports trying to defend. IT Official trying to attack. As much as it were, that flashbang completely blind all of us. IT Official throwing out nades. We'll get 1. Any throwables come through. IT Official just trying to move their way up the hill at this point. Very difficult, but they do get a shot in on Jeff. Another kill for them.
Ooh.
Brothers YT eliminated at the same time. What? Was that a stray bullet that just hit the last Brothers IT? No way. IT Official vote. 1 player left for Zendel here, and they push all the way around. He's playing a game of cat and mouse. He gets down, but no, Zendel Esports eliminated 2nd. It's IT Official who take the booyah right at the end of the day.
Lost Booyah going in for the side of IT, and the team again. Earlier today, they had some presence. They slowed things down. It seems like it wasn't going their way, but it ended up with a booyah. So again, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of that confidence and positive note that you can end up the day with and the group stages with for this team. But like you said, everyone here already pretty much set into who is going to get to the grand finals and who has to go to the last chance qualifier. Really unfortunate what we saw so early on for OG. I mean, it was so close. It's insane, right by a single point.
Yeah, I mean, that really is the closest of margins that it really could have been. But I mean, honestly, winning that fight would have got them into the next stage of the tournament, but unfortunately eliminated. It really couldn't have been much closer. The thing is, right, you expect the point margin between 20th place and 1st place right now is 330 points. And yet, it comes down to the margins of 1, 2, 3 points that stops a team from getting through to the next stage of the tournament. Only the bottom 4 teams were eliminated from this one, and that will do it for OG Wipe Gang. Duel Kings probably out there biting their nails at this point, have just about... I mean, they're going to have to get therapy after that, I feel like.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's so rough to see, especially because it started absolutely insane for them. I think the fastest fight that we've seen throughout the day, and that we've seen pretty much in the entirety of the group stages. There's not so many of those early fights that take place, and again, for the side of OG that we've been talking about, the 9th spot is going to give them the at the end.
Yeah, not enough for them to get through. Nobody will change their position. Only 21 points for IT Official also means that they don't make that gap that they need to get into the top 8. So everybody stays in their positions. But it was a lovely game to finish things out. IT Official and Zendel Esports putting in a shift right at the end there. Brothers YT, it's probably their best game in weeks.
Might be one of the better performances that we've seen from them in the entirety of the group stages. The performance for them, not the greatest, very inconsistent, getting taken down first. We see it just by looking at the leaderboard and the teams that were at the top, the teams that were at the bottom. Brothers YT were always at the bottom, struggling to get those points. Had a nice performance, and also just trying to take advantage of all the mess that was taking place for teams like Pizarro, for teams like Skullbreaker, that they already knew their positioning, maybe weren't even giving everything that they got into it, just a little bit of maybe 1 kill, maybe 2, but not even that we got to see from Pizarro itself, just guaranteeing that a very, very nice spot into the grand finals, into the last chance qualifier, as we already know the teams that are going to be qualifying for those.
Yeah, absolutely. Not even a player that was in that last couple fights. Rembox Gaming, Samu putting in a shift with 7 kills there. Absolutely massive from him. Nobody really, we've seen a lot on this tournament getting on the board apart from Tail, really. Club 9D will keep their position as well. Here we go. We see the overall leaderboards finishing the group stage here. Pizarro Esports take away first place. Fuego right behind them, 17-point difference in second. Team 999 move up into third place. They'll take a bronze medal for the group stage after that last game. And we can see closing out, USA Esports and Osaka will move on into the grand finals. DN Esports and Navy pushed out in the last day of the tournament. IT Official only 70 points away from getting into that one. OG Wipe Gang miss out on going out of the elimination bracket. Tankers were pushed into there in the last day of the tournament. But there we go. Zundel push their way out of there. They will make it to the last chance qualifiers. Skullbreakers also getting out of there by the skin of their teeth. So incredibly well done to all of those teams who managed to make that last push today.
Absolutely. And we see the importance too of being consistent from the beginning, on day after day, week after week, to have to be able to have a breather into this one, right? You're not going to be sweating, you're not going to be stressed out into the last results that we got today. The only ones at the bottom were the ones that were in a very risky situation, trying to make it to the top, but we didn't really see many changes coming in from the bottom, right? It was Skullbreaker having a decent performance, but still knowing that the positioning when it came to the last chance qualifier was already pretty much guaranteed for them, unless we saw some insane surprises. But everything, according to all these teams, at least at the top 20 going according to plan, those at the top get to go into a little bit of a break before those grand finals.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, now we'll close out all of those standings for this one. Here we can see the overall kills. Scott almost... Adiel actually overtook Scott in the last day of the tournament. Obviously, he had been the points leader for a while. Scott overtook him in that last day of competition here. But Adiel overtakes him by 2 kills. He will be the kill leader at the end of the group stage. Cruzeiro very close in third place. Tail also pushes his way onto the top 5 past Dax there with 77.
Players here like a deal that we've seen and having a good performance, but they're going to continue to try to get the nice performance, not only for Pizarro, but every single team participating and guaranteeing the last chance qualifier spots. We already know the dates is going to be March 26 and 27 for the last chance qualifier. A lot of pressure for those 2 days, and those grand finals on April 1st. So that is at least the day one for the grand finals, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have the whole weekend of that grand finals coming up past the fold there that we can't see. But that is it for the group stage. Completely, we're done. We'll be back next week with the last chance qualifiers, and then a full other week of the grand finals. But the group stage is done. 4 teams eliminated, 12 going through to the last chance qualifiers, and then 8 more going through into the grand finals. That's it for us, though. From me and Dendride, it's been a pleasure, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for tuning in.